The sun is shining in the Bronx, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first of 4 from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with David Cohn and Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees split a day-night doubleheader with the Dodgers, and now a really big series when you look at the American League East. Everything is so bunched up, any kind of series swing could really affect the way you're standing. So let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this game, brought to you by the New York Lottery. Matt Moore is going to go for the Tampa Bay Rays. Good record. Andy Pettitte 5-4, better ERA than Moore. Last time out, though, Paul, against the Angels, kind of a mixed bag for Andy.
Well, a lot of times you look at pitchers and how they're pitching recently. You really don't with Andy Pettitte, because you know if he has his great stuff, he's going to be good. If he doesn't have his great stuff, he'll figure out a way. Kendrick right here, who's killed the Yankees for years, come through, but all of a sudden you see he got his cutter back. Andy Pettitte will battle. He'll give them an opportunity. Tough matchup tonight. The Rays are very good against left-handed pitching.
And Andy Pettitte gave up a lot of hits against the Angels, but he didn't give up that many runs. It just wasn't a great start. Andy wasn't thrilled with it, but he likes pitching against the Rays. 32 starts, 33 games, 17-7, 3.92. He's going to be opposing Matt Moore. Now, Matt Moore against the Yankees has done a good job, David. Of late, he struggled. We'll talk about that later.
Well, he did, but still possesses a dynamite left arm. He's got power stuff. He's got a big curveball. Started out the year 8-0. It looked like maybe a potential all-star game nod for him, but as Michael said, his last three starts have been kind of difficult for him. He's starting to give it up a little bit, but he's got dynamite stuff, and he can be tough on the Yankees, as you see there.
Rays have always struggled offensively, but they have the new phenom in town. That's right. Will Myers is here. Meredith Marakovitz will join us in just a moment and break down what to expect from this young star.
Here in just a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. Now, the Rays come into this series 2 games above 500, trying to make some noise in the AL East, and this time around they'll have a new member of their offense. Will Myers just called up 3 games ago. Let's take a look at the youngster's resume and see exactly how he got here. Now, he's a highly touted draft pick, ranked 4th overall by Baseball America, and came to Tampa Bay via Kansas City as a part of the James Shields deal. Now, it's a small sample size, but so far, Joe Madden has said he's fit in quite nicely.
Not overwhelmed. Really a better athlete than I think people had told me in the beginning. I saw that in spring training where everybody talked about his hitting abilities, but he's good in the outfield. He runs well, he throws well, he does a lot of things well besides just hit. So it's been very impressive how he's handled the whole thing. First 3 games in Boston. He's a good kid. He's eager. He loves to do this. But the big point is he's not overwhelmed by all of it.
Myers is in tonight's lineup, batting fifth behind Evan Longoria. It'll be Michael Kay, David Cone, and Paul O'Neill coming back next with Lineup's First Pitch Baseball right here on Yes.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Honda, visit your Honda dealer today for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. So you saw Paul and David in action, and they're in action with me for this series as well. Paul O'Neill and David Cone. The Yankees have taken the field, and a former teammate of both of theirs, Andy Pettitte, is on the mound at the age of 41. Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay starting lineup against the Yankee left-hander. We start off with the center fielder Desmond Jennings. Sean Rodriguez in left field will bat second. Batting third, playing second, is Ben Zobrist. Evan Longoria, the third baseman, will clean up. Batting fifth and playing right field, Will Myers. Jose Molina, the DH, will bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Yunel Escobar. Jose Lobaton will catch. He's going to bat eighth. Batting ninth and playing first base is James Loney.
Here's a Louisiana left-hander ready to go in the middle of his warm-ups. This will be his 12th start. See 5-4, 68 1/3 innings, only 19 walks against 52 strikeouts. And let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And true Yank, Paulie, he was drafted by the Yankees in the 22nd round in the 1990 MLB draft and is the only pitcher drafted by the Yankees to win 200 games in the majors. And Beast of the East, well, the toughest division in baseball over the last several years, the American League East, and he owns a .693 winning percentage, 88 39 against all AL East opponents. That's the best all-time among pitchers with at least 75 decisions and good company. Well, he can catch Bob Gibson tonight. Gibby.
You start saying names like that, that's so.
251 wins on the all-time wins list would tie the great Bob Gibson for 44th most all-time.
All right, so Desmond Jennings digs in. Andy Pettitte is on the mound. And let's do it here in the Bronx. The left-hander deals, and that ball is grounded fair inside third and down the left field line. Wells digs the ball off the carom, and jogging into second with a leadoff double is Desmond Jennings.
Conan, this has got to just, I mean, you come in from the bullpen, you almost want like a courtesy pitch to get the game started. Next thing you know, Hopper over the bag, Nobody out, man on second base. Kind of a quick wake-up call.
Well, that's total judgment call on the umpire's part. As you see past the bag, it landed foul. But if it goes over the bag in the air, according to that third base umpire, then it is fair, and it is a double.
Third base umpire is Alan Porter. And here is Sean Rodriguez. Tampa Bay plays a very fundamentally sound game, so you would think Rodriguez is going to try to hit the ball to the left side. Check that right side to move Jennings to third.
So, man, I mean, it came from Anaheim under Sosha, and I mean, these guys, that's the part of the game that they emphasize. Players are not going to play for these guys unless you play the game right.
0-2. He tries to keep it loose, but he certainly has his thoughts on how you play the game. Strike three, doesn't get anything done as Rodriguez strikes out looking. Let's take a look at the defense behind Andy Pettitte. In the outfield, it's Vernon Wells, Brett Gardner, and Ichiro Suzuki. That's left to right. Infield, it's Nix, Brignac, Cano, and Overbay, third to first. Chris Stewart behind the plate. And the oldest starter in the big leagues, 41-year-old Andrew Eugene Pettitte, is on the mound. Here's Ben Zobrist. Brignac playing today with a left-hander on the mound for the Rays because Joe Girardi figures all the righties in the lineup for the Rays. Going to be a lot of ground balls to the left side. Brignac is a superior shortstop to Nix, and Nix is a better third baseman than Adams. And that's why the left side of the infield is what it is. A little closer at second.
Back-to-back at second base. You don't see that very often.
Not at all. And I can tell you that Cano is guarding very closely. Jennings a threat to steal third, obviously.
Well, the Yankees were not pleased when they were in Anaheim, and even one game in Oakland, pitchers just did not pay attention to the runners, and they took off running start, and you couldn't even attempt to throw. And since that series, the 2 games against the Dodgers, paying awfully close attention to all of these runners. Count 1-0. Great numbers against Pettitte.
And Zobrist got a big, one of the better games Andy Pettitte's thrown all year. He lost, which was down in Tampa Bay. Had 10 strikeouts that night. Ben Zobrist had a big hit into right center. And if you look at the matchup here, Cody, I mean, he's got such a closed shoulder that you think you could get inside, especially with that cutter. But he's had the ability to drive Andy out into right center field.
1-1. 1-2. Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity.
That's a good point, Paulie. When you combine that with Zobrist, who likes to eyeball pitches too. He's got a high on base percentage. He walks a lot. You definitely think you could try to test him in.
Cutter in. All of a sudden, we talked about it. First pitch of the game, double. And so you, as a pitcher, you have to think, all right, I'm just going to get through this, and if they score a run, fine. Then you get a strikeout without moving the guy over. Then your mindset obviously has to change. I got a good chance to get out of this inning without giving up a run.
Swing and a miss. Zobrist down on strikes. Time for the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 73 degrees, humidity 44%, wind is 16 miles per hour. It's partly cloudy and a bit cool, but certainly comfortable.
I'm going to give you a couple clouds, Michael, because I see none around here. Huh?
You want clouds?
No, but you said partly cloudy. I didn't want to make you look bad.
I don't see them either.
It's funny, Andy has 2 strikeouts here in the first inning. I mean, you don't consider him a strikeout pitcher. And I was looking at the all-time list. By the time the year is over, he's going to be the leader of all time for the Yankees.
Evan Longoria flies out to Gardner, so the leadoff double, no problem. It's the Rays nothing. Yankees coming to bat. The Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. Brett Gardner in center field will lead off. Batting second, playing third base, Jason Nix. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will hit third. Travis Hafner, a rare start against the left-hander. He'll DH and clean up. Batting fifth and playing left field, Vernon Wells. Ichiro Suzuki in right field will bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing first base, Lyle Overbay. Chris Stewart's going to catch. He's going to bat eighth. And playing shortstop and batting ninth is Reed Brignac.
Battle of left-handers tonight, and this is a good one, a young one. Matt Moore, his 13th start on the season. He jumped out to 8-0. He's now 8-3, so he's been struggling as of late. 39 walks, 68 strikeouts. Let's go ahead and give you the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And Phenom, well, he was named the 2007 Gatorade Player of the Year and was committed to play at the University of New Mexico. He decided to sign with the Rays after being drafted in the 8th round, and that's a pretty good 8th round pick right there. And well, on June 16th of 2011, he threw a no-hitter for the AA Montgomery Biscuits. Yeah, there's a minor league team named the Montgomery Biscuits, and it was the 9th no-hitter in Rays history, counting minor leagues. And right the ship, well, like we said before, he began 8-0 with a 2.18 ERA, and since then he's gone 0-3 with a 13.86 ERA in his last 3, so he's looking to turn it around.
He's going to deal to Brett Gardner. And that one is lined into center field. It's a base hit. Jennings Fields gets the ball in, so Gardner leads off the first inning with a single.
Brett Gardner getting the start here, and he's been swinging the bat really well. And against a lefty, you see a ball up in the zone. Why take it? Good pitch to hit, drives it up the middle.
Take a look at Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. With that hit, Gardner 32 for his last 98. That's in 25 games, playing good baseball. At the top of the Yankee order. Here's Jason Nix. And he pushes a bunt foul over the Yankee dugout.
You know, nothing surprises me with Nix. I mean, he comes to play. He does everything you want him to do. If he's a spot starter or whatever, he works hard. Defensively good. He's just a good professional baseball player. Right there trying to push bunt. Trying to set up a scoring opportunity for Cano.
David, your take on bunting in the first inning?
Well, I would like it better if he would disguise it, maybe kind of sort of go for a bunt single too, not just a complete sacrifice. And with the left-handed pitcher out there kind of falling off towards third, if he can thread the needle between the pitcher and the first baseman, he can put a lot of pressure on the second baseman and almost bunt for a hit as well and get the job done of moving the runner. Normally, I don't like giving up outs, though, Michael, to answer your question.
Well, I don't quite get it because it does give you the option of first base open. Your best hitter's coming up and Hafner's on deck. You might lose Cano at least to get a good pitch. And you've got a guy who can steal first base at first base. So it's almost giving an out away and also taking away any hope of a big inning. And the Yankees only have 3 right-handers in the whole lineup, and he's one of them. And we'll see if he stays with the bunt. You're styling on this, O'Neill. What do you think?
I'm just thinking that, I'm disappointed. Every time Brett Gardner gets on the base, you almost are waiting for him to steal. You want it to happen. I mean, that's one of his strengths on the field is to run. And obviously against a lefty, it can be a little bit tougher. You like to, they put pressure on teams, especially early in the game. They could throw it in the center field. You could hit him at third. I mean, a lot of things can happen when you put pressure on the defense.
Well, you saw that the bunt was taken off there, and you wonder, was the bunt called from the dugout, or was it just Jason Nix's idea? So now 1-2. Yankees are scraping for runs, so that's probably the thought process. That one's driven deep to left field, and it hooks foul.
An off-speed pitch changeup just hung it right in his eyes, and as a hitter, when you see it, you see it so well, but the worst thing you could do is pull this ball foul, and you see this ball right over the middle, just out a little bit too in front, and just pulled it foul. We get away with one there, Coney.
Yeah, he's lucky to get that one back. No, he didn't. He got a new one, but it was foul.
The other one didn't hurt him as much as it would have if he kept it fair.
The thing about Moore on the mound is, he's not known for a really good pickoff move, but he's got a good slide step. So he's really quick to home when he wants to. He mixes that slide step in. He's hard to get a jump off of.
Swing and a miss, so Nix down on strikes. Why don't we check out the Rays defense behind Moore? Sean Rodriguez in left, Jennings in center, Myers over in right. Infield, Longoria, Escobar, Zobrist, and Loney. Loney, by the way, having a really fine year. That's third to first. Lobaton behind the plate, and Moore is on the mound.
Coney, you saw what happened. He got a high changeup and he hooked it foul, and he came right back with a good changeup. And you strike out, so you go back to the bench as a hitter, and you know what happened. You missed your pitch. You fouled it off instead of putting it in play.
So here's Robinson Cano. Broken bat. On one hop, Escobar flips the second one on to first, not in time. Pretty nice play by Yunel Escobar. So they get the force.
Well, Robbie gets jammed, and good spot to take it up the middle, but just didn't get enough wood to drive it through the infield. You see this bat just explode in his hand. Again, Escobar does pick it, and this is the one thing that Yankee fans don't realize. You see Zobrist really struggle to get to that ball to first base. You see that play with Robbie Cano out there and his arm strength. That's a double play. Wow. Love that as a pitcher, don't you, Coney?
Wow. I mean, the barrel almost beat the ball in the race there. Carried a long way with that barrel.
See Robbie licking splinters out of his fingers over there.
Here's Travis Hafner. Did not play in the 2 games against the Dodgers. And the count 1-0.
See that severe shift, and I tell you what, as a left-handed hitter, I'd love to hit against a shift because your direction off a lefty is out in here, up the middle and the other way, and you see that shift there, dead pull for Hafner. You see more, very straight fastball, kind of over the top, but if you look at the way he sets up, that front shoulder is very closed, which is kind of hides the ball from a lefty. That's kind of his defense.
Blocked by Lobaton. Count 2-1.
One of the things with the Tampa Bay Rays is organizational of their philosophy with developing pitchers, and more included in that is they want to teach the changeup and teach the two-seamer, ground balls and off speed, and they've been trying to get Moore to throw more two-seamers, and he's been slow to adjust because he had such a power four-seamer when he came up, mid-90s up to the upper 90s, but he has tried to mix in some more sinkers lately, and certainly we've seen that changeup too already this first inning.
High fly ball drifting toward left center. Jennings is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. No runs a hit and one man left on base. We've played 1-0 in the Bronx. Cap night. First 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Cannon. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here's young Will Myers, so highly thought of, picked up in a trade with the Kansas City Royals, and coming into this year considered the 4th best prospect in all of baseball by Baseball America. They waited till mid-June to call him up so that they have him another year before he has to become a free agent. He won't be able to go to arbitration as soon.
Comes to the plate a little old school, Coney. No batting gloves. You don't see that very often. I just never felt like you got as good as grip without those gloves on. You little pine tar on them.
Like Jorge Posada.
Yeah.
Right back up the middle, almost took off Pettit's head, and a base hit for Will Myers.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Coney, I'm sure that you saw a few of these, and as a pitcher, when a ball's hit this hard, you're pretty much defenseless. I mean, you see that ball's by him before he even reacts. There's just, it happens sometimes. You just can't react that quick.
The glove goes up after the ball's already by. That's the scary part. If you got to look at Andy Pettit's eyes after that, those are the eyes of a pitcher that just dodged one.
That's an absolute bullet right there.
The Rays have their own recent history as Cobb, one of their starters, took one off the coconut recently. Was doing okay, though.
Molina grounds one foul.
I don't know if this is what Joe Madden had planned coming into the year. In the middle of the year, you got Molina DHing. You just don't see that very often. I mean, he's such a good defensive catcher. Jose Molina, sorry about that. There's a lot of Molinas out there. I might throw all 3 of them out there before the night's over.
How about the hitter that Yadier's become?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Definitely an MVP candidate in the National League.
With the St. Louis Cardinals. The 0-1. 0-2.
See Molina there really taking a shot at trying to drive that ball in the hole on the right side.
You know, I felt, Paul, you know, in the 2009 season, the Yankees, the first year in the new ballpark, they won the World Series, and Molina was part of that. I think he's the guy that was a key in the playoffs. He caught A.J. Burnett, kind of got him through that.
Swing and a miss.
You know, if you want veteran players at certain positions, obviously catching is one of the most important. I mean, he knows how to catch. They know how to win. I mean, that whole family, and it just you might be right, Coney. Changed a lot of things. Big dynamic change when he left.
Yeah. Girardi caught a lot of heat for starting Molina in those World Series games against the Phillies, and it paid off. A.J. Burnett pitched very well in the postseason in 2009 with Molina catching him.
Burnett back on the disabled list, wasn't he, with the Pirates? Did he get hurt recently?
Yeah, he was throwing well, too. He's had a nice run in Pittsburgh there. Really pitched well there. Leg injury, I think a torn calf muscle.
Mark Teixeira coming back from that cortisone shot in the wrist. He's on the 15-day deal. Base hit to left field. All right, speaking of injuries, here is the injury report for the Rays, brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. David mentioned about Cobb. He's on the 7-day deal because of the concussion. They worry about Price with a tricep strain, 15-day deal, and Neiman, a 60-day deal. He is done for the year with shoulder surgery.
Well, the big thing there is David Price. I mean, he's the #1 starter for these guys. And, you know, they get Cobb back. They get Price back. This team with Madden, you see him talk, it still has a chance to win the East. I mean, they're that good pitching-wise. They haven't pitched as well as they should, but they have the opportunity to come back and get their guys back. They're good.
Well, that's a great point, Paulie, because that's how you get on a roll. You know, is if you feel like you're running a starter out there every night that's got a chance to keep you in a game. And that's how you can reel off 5 out of 6, 7 out of 8, and get on an extended run.
You have that good pitching staff where the other team doesn't go in looking forward to that second and third game because you're throwing, you know, that third and fourth starter at them.
That one gets away from Stewart, didn't know where it was, and the runners move up. Scored a wild pitch.
That staff you were on, Coney, you watch this wild pitch.
You could see that was a tough one. Cutter spin kind of ran up Stewart's arm as he tried to collapse and block it. Kind of a little late getting down.
Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball. Those mistakes now are so big because the Yankees just can't score, and you can't allow something like that to happen. All of a sudden, a runner at third, and you have the infield back. One run is really big against the Yankee offense the way it's been struggling.
Could you ever try to make the call here to like step off, look in at the manager, want the infield in this situation?
I never really felt strong enough to do that.
That one is looped into right field. Coming on Ichiro. He slides and makes the play. Myers is coming. Here's the throw. And Myers is in there on the sac fly. 1-0 Rays.
Well, Myers does a good job. He doesn't freeze out there not knowing if this ball is going to drop or not. You tag up all the way. And the only reason he scored here is because Ichiro has to leave his feet. Did all he could, but just takes too much time to get up and get off a good throw. And the #1 priority, obviously, catch the ball. And you see in slow motion, it just takes too much time, and you don't have anything going towards the throw. Pretty much as good a defensive right fielder in his prime as anybody.
Here's James Loney. Well, what a year Loney's having. Remember, he was part of the Dodger-Red Sox deal. He ended up going to the Red Sox as a free agent. Tampa Bay took a flyer on him, and look at him, batting ninth, hitting .300 with 8 homers and 36 ribbies. He's a pretty good defensive first baseman as well.
This is one of those starts, if you're take a look at Myers here, and as soon as this ball is hit, you see he immediately went back to third base. You don't freeze, you wait, you're going to score, but if you get caught off at third base, cost that guy an RBI. He was getting back to the point of Loney. This is one of those games you feel like, you know, what, the manager just threw me in here because he had nobody else here. I'm hit .300. I'm facing a tough lefty, and he's really handled lefties. And all of a sudden, you're hitting ninth. He really does well against lefties.
He's also a .362 hitter on the road. And in his last 25 games, a .398 hitter on the road. Home games for the Rays not exactly played the most dynamic atmosphere, so maybe getting away from that helps. And a lot of people won't see the ball that well in the dome.
I didn't see the ball, and it was almost like just playing in a movie theater. It was quiet. There wasn't much going on there. Just not, you know, your great place to play baseball. And they've had good teams, and it has to hold back and fans and stuff like that because it's just not the place to go to watch a baseball game.
Swing and a miss. Loney down on strikes. But the Rays get a run on 2 hits. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Tampa Bay. What a start from Matt Moore. As David said earlier, maybe an all-star berth, 8-0, 2.18. But something's happened since the beginning of June, 0-3. Look at the ERA, 11 walks, 11 strikeouts, and opponents are hitting .448 against him. Those are really cold, hard facts.
I'll tell you what, hitters go through slumps, pitchers go through slumps. Just hoping, you know, the veteran pitchers, you always knew it was going to turn around soon. Younger guys, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer.
Dave Winfield is at the ball game for the second straight night. Vernon Wells fouls it back. I was talking with Willie Randolph today, and Willie was at the game yesterday and was talking with Winfield. And Willie said 2 greatest athletes he ever played with, Dave Winfield and Ricky Henderson. He said just amazing athletes.
Can't argue with it. Winfield, as big as he was, I mean, moved so well to hit. Ricky, unbelievable athlete.
Winfield was drafted pro basketball, pro football, and Major League Baseball.
Legitimately, too. Could have easily played professionally in all 3 sports. I'm thinking about that line drive Will Myers hit back over Andy's head. I mean, Winfield hit the most vicious line drives I think you will ever see. He'd hit 10 feet off the ground bullets that would hit the center field wall and darn near knock it down. I mean, that's how hard he hit the ball.
Fly ball, right field. Myers back. And on the track, he puts it away to retire Wells. Vernon continuing to struggle now. 9 for his last 88. That's a good sign, though, that he goes to right field.
Let me ask you something, though, Coney. I mean, here you got a player that was an everyday player in Toronto. Then he goes out a few years out in California, and he doesn't play every day. All of a sudden, he's thrown back into a situation where he's playing every single day. It's almost like that dead arm thing for a pitcher. I mean, you got to get back in the routine of playing every single day.
No doubt about it. You know, Vernon Wells has battled injuries, too, over the last several years, and he's finally got healthy to start this year. And I think you saw what a healthy Vernon Wells can do early in the year. But it's a valid point, Paulie, in terms of looking for spots to give him some rest. Yankees just don't have enough bodies here with all the injuries.
You can't forget, though, as a fan, that you drive one to center. Be caught.
As Jennings puts it away.
I was going to say, you can't forget as a fan what he did early in the year. I mean, you turn on players because you jump on the bandwagon, but he helped this team win a lot of games early. And this team is in a good position from where they should be. As many injuries, and he helped rack up some wins early in the year.
Here's Lyle Overbay. Overbay played a big role in the Yankees getting off to a good start with Teixeira on the DL. Picked up some big hits. Has 32 ribbies. Quietly took his seat when Mark Teixeira came off the DL. Played some outfield. And then Teixeira goes back on the DL, and Overbay very valuable. He is the only legitimate first baseman on this team. That's why he's starting tonight against the left-hander.
Yeah, those 32 RBIs tied with Hafner. Only second in the lineup tonight for the Yankees. Of course, Robinson Cano's got 42 RBIs.
Teixeira is such an important part of this team, defensively, offensively. And it's going to be frustrating for Robbie because he's just not going to get big at bat situations where he hits a lot to hit. Moore sets up on the mound, Coney. I mean, most lefties get all the way to the left side to kind of get that crossfire. He's all the way on the right side. And as we said, he did close that shoulder, but
strike 3.
Pitch there.
Overbay down looking as the Yankees go down in order. We go to the third. Tampa Bay 1. Yankees nothing. Breaking ball right on the inside corner. We go to the top of the third, and Desmond Jennings leads off. Andy starts him with a breaking ball for a strike. Lincoln scoreboard, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Checks the swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Greg Gibson. They got to keep the pipeline pumping here in Tampa Bay, and Desmond Jennings' eventual emergence allowed them to tell Carl Crawford, have a great career, thank you for your service, and he ended up signing a long-term deal with the Red Sox. Crawford was replaced by Jennings and left, and then they said the same thing to B.J. Upton, who's really struggling in Atlanta, and Jennings moved over to center field, and that's what this organization must do. As that one is lined into right center, and Brett Gardner will play it on a couple of hops. It goes underneath his glove, backing up is Ichiro, and Jennings is on second with a base hit and an E8.
The Yankees have been so solid defensively, and you just see, we'll see a replay here, but it looked like that ball either popped up or came down. You just don't see this very often. He kind of got caught in between, got his glove turned the wrong way.
Same situation in the first inning, runner at second, nobody out, and Sean Rodriguez could not get Jennings over. In fact, he struck out looking against Andy. Jennings jogging, and then sees the ball gets by him and shifts it into another gear.
You can see that little burst there, Coney.
Yeah, he's a fantastic athlete, you know, and probably could have been a prospect in the NFL as a defensive back. He's really talented in high school. Actually, he's got 9 home runs, too. It's going to be interesting to see if he ends up, you know, long-term being a leadoff guy or a middle-of-the-order guy.
1-1 to Rodriguez.
You hate to take away anything from a player. He has power. He has speed. And in this day and age, everybody falls in love with a home run. But you got to remember, you know, if you can hit 280 instead of 240 and throw in 30 stolen bases, you're a superstar. Talking about it, Rodriguez has had this same at bat, and now he's 2 strikes again. Struck out in the first inning without moving Jennings over. Again, down on the count, 1-2.
This time, Brignac, the shortstop, kind of playing the role of holding Jennings.
Line drive, a base hit to left field. Jennings rounds third. They're sending him home. Now they hold him as the throw is cut off by Nix. So Tom Foley, the third base coach, thought better of sending Jennings on Wells' arm. And the Rays have runners on the corners and nobody out.
I'll tell you what, Jennings gets a good read on this, and he thinks he's going to score the whole way. You look, and believe it or not, this hurts. Because you stop late, your feet jam into the front of your toes because your spikes catch. And all it is just a kind of a late call from the third baseman or third base coach. But with no outs, you don't want to take any chances.
Slam on the brakes, huh? Good way to pop a hammy, right?
Everything hurts, even looking at it now, Cody.
There's Ben Zobrist, and there's a base hit to right center field. Jennings scores. Rodriguez will go to third. Zobrist makes a big turn. He stops at first with an RBI single and a 2-0 Rays lead.
Yeah, we talked about Zobrist in his first at bat. He has the ability to stay inside that cutter, that closed stance, and drive it to right center. Didn't quite get it in there, obviously, and he just stays with it. Pretty good approach.
Ten for 24 now against Pettit. Here's Evan Longoria. Longoria has been injury prone the last couple of years, but he is one of only 5 players in the American League East who have started every game for their team. 3 of them with the Orioles: J.J. Hardy, Adam Jones, and Manny Machado, and Robinson Cano with the Yankees.
You know, Michael, I got a 3-point scouting report on Evan Longoria. I'm probably going to give before the game's over.
All right.
I got a 2-point now because you just stole one of them.
I didn't realize that. Why don't you do it now, since I already gave one? Here's the Chrysler Hitters Scouting Report by Paul O'Neill.
That I worked long and hard for 500. With one more RBI, that'll be his 500th. Very quick, 8th fastest active player. Right here, I'm just going to take that out because he plays every day and Michael stole it. And when it counts, owns a 341 average from the 7th inning on. Big player for the Rays late in the game. Thanks, Michael.
Sorry, Paul.
You're not really, Maurice.
2-0. Fly ball, right center. Ichiro is there. He'll make the play. Tagging and scoring easily is Sean Rodriguez. Zobrist stays at first. A sac fly by Longoria. That's his 500th ribby, and a 3-0 Tampa Bay lead.
Kind of a telltale sign with Andy, Paul. You know, I mean, he's always been able to get ground balls and double plays when he needed to, and everything's up. A lot of balls hit in the air. Another sac fly there from Longoria. So you can tell Andy's command's a little off, and he's up in the zone.
The cutter, if it doesn't quite bite enough, you see these guys are able to stay inside and use right center field. Productive bats with fly balls and line drives. When that cutter's really bearing down, you have such a tendency as a hitter to really kind of just roll over it, and you end up hitting a lot of ground balls. See if he changes against Myers. Last time he released that cutter out over the middle of the plate, he about took his head off.
Really big gamble by the Kansas City Royals. Most people look at this guy and say, can't miss. But they looked at their team, said, we're ready to compete for playoff spot if we get pitching. And we have enough young hitting. We'll sacrifice Will Myers, and we'll get 2 big pitchers. And they got those pitchers from the Rays. As Myers grounds to third. There's one. And there's 2. A 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. But the Rays scored 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 3-0 Tampa Bay. The official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. We started the conversation with this. Do you believe the American League East is the toughest division in baseball right now? Why or why not? Ollie and Yankees. Yes, because all the teams are pretty much equal in their quality of play right now, and there's little separation. Well, from top to bottom, there's only 7.5 games separating the Red Sox from the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays have won 8 games in a row. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going.
I'll tell you what, now that the Blue Jays are hot and back in it, that kind of changes the equation. You see the Lincoln scoreboard there.
All of a sudden, especially when you play that many games against your own division, when a team starts getting hot, a lot of disappointment early, but they're playing well lately.
Chris Stewart takes a strike.
How about your Cincinnati Reds, Paulie, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, 2 of the best records in all of baseball?
I mean, Cincinnati Reds basically should have won the World Series last year. They did. Good, solid team. Now the Pittsburgh Pirates, are they going to do what they did last year? Or did they learn from it? Because they were in this spot last year and then they just folded. But, there's a city that needs to win. And it's so long, probably since 1990 when we beat them in the playoffs, since that team has won. And, actually not a bad baseball town when the team's doing one.
Great ballpark. Beautiful.
Stewart, Brignac, and Gardner against Matt Moore as he has a 3-0 lead.
Well, you see Moore, Coney. I mean, he came in with the last 3 games just horrible, and all of a sudden he seems to have found some control. His control has been horrible lately, but tonight so far so good.
So far so good, and he's showing an ever-improving changeup too.
Count goes full, 3-2.
But you can kind of see he's a work in progress. Even though he got off to an 8-0 start, he's still trying to figure out his mix of pitches. How many two-seamers is he going to mix in? How many changeups per at-bat is he going to throw? His patterns have changed quite a bit over the course of this year.
And he works a walk, Stewart does, to open up the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, we kind of talked about that with Phil Hughes last night, trying to figure out your secondary pitches, what kind of pitcher are you going to be? How are you going to go about it? What's your best secondary pitch? How good's your changeup? Usually your 3rd pitch is your changeup. For some guys, your 2nd pitch is your changeup. But what kind of pitcher is Matt Moore going to be? And he's got a good hook. He's developing his changeup.
Talked about his 2-seamer, and he's got a good 4-seamer, which would add another pitch. But to me, and obviously a lot more pitching, he's all over the top, really over the top, which it makes it very hard to get downward sinking action.
Yeah, he's built for speed.
Right.
4-seam gas up top. So it'd be hard to turn him into a sinker 2-seam guy. He could probably use it for show and use it to be effective here and there.
Check swing by Brignac. There's 1. And there's 2. Brignac continues to struggle now, 0 for his last 18 as he hits into a double play against his former teammates.
Nothing worse, Coney, as a hitter, is it kind of a check swing. You put it in play.
What's a devastating play? Yeah, any double play ground ball is such a boost for a pitcher. When I'm on the mound, you get one of those. Wow, 1 pitch, 2 outs.
Especially when you're coming, you got to lead. You're 3-0, but you're coming off a horrible time in the past 3 games, so your confidence is still a little shaken. You walk the leadoff batter and you get a quick double play.
Count 1-0 to Gardner. Gardner singled in the 1st inning. Count 1-1.
Wow, you look at that pitch, and that's that 50-50 pitch. It's a strike or a ball, but it changes the whole count. 2-0 is so much different than 1-1.
Now it's 1-2.
Kind of mentioned it, Coney. That's a good curveball. I mean, it's got a lot of downward action, and it's not a slow curve where you can really read it as a hitter. Quick breaker. you're right. If he could learn that two-seamer, now you've seen that back-to-back curveball. If he could run that ball in on a lefty, makes it very tough. Because you're hanging out over the plate now to cover that four-seamer away and that curveball. Where basically, if he gets that ball on the inside part of the plate, you're going to jam yourself.
Rolls over that one and grounds it to second, and that will do it here in the third. No runs, no hits, and because of the double play, nobody left. We go to the fourth. 3-0 Rays. NY quit for free help today. The Yankees went 11-1 against Tampa Bay in their inaugural season in 1998. Who was the only Yankees pitcher to lose a game? Do you know who that is, David?
No, I do not.
So it wasn't you.
But could have been. Could have been.
So one of those blackout years, Coney?
I don't remember everybody I lost to that year.
You didn't lose to too many.
7? I think I lost seven games that year.
I'm just looking up
how
at the
many I
board.
won, I'll tell you that.
How many did you win?
20.
That's a magic number, isn't it?
Molina grounds one to third. Nix has plenty of time. One away. What's the deal with the Rays? Paul O'Neill has the Pepsi team scouting report.
Well, tough times. I mean, they've had tough times, and they're 0-6-2 in the last 8 series against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Good matchup. The Rays have been very good against lefties, though. Obviously, Andy Pettit on the mound, 284 average. And Larry, where's Larry? Larry Rothschild served as a manager, the inaugural manager of the Rays between 98 and 2001. Got off to a 4-10 start in 2001, and they got rid of him. It's not much of a chance. 14 games.
That was the boneyard for managers there. That job until Madden got there. We talked to Lupinello about that too.
David 20-7, 3.55. Chop to third. Nix will get Escobar for the second out.
Once in a while you see a player and you think, this guy really looks like a good player. And Escobar is one of those guys, and you just don't know if it's he loses concentration or what it is, but he's got so many skills on the field that you just think that he could be one of those special players in the league.
That's a great point, because he's got the talent. He kind of reminds me of Encarnacion when he was with Cincinnati and got traded for Scott Rowland to the Blue Jays, and it took him a while to figure out. Now he's one of the best hitters in the game all of a sudden.
Right.
2-0. Chop to Brignette, gets a nice hop, and that will do it. 3 ground balls for Andy Pettitte to the left side, and 3 Rays go down. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Fourth inning, it's time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Yankees went 11-1 against Tampa Bay in their inaugural '98 season. Who was the only Yankees pitcher to lose a game? We're going to guess it was not Coney. So let's see who it was.
Because Pettitte's on the mound? Is that what they did?
Could have tied it in. Could have tied it in. There you go. Good thinking, Paul. Andy Pettitte starting against the Rays tonight, 15 years later. And he's down 3-0. It'll be Jason Nix, Robinson Cano, and Travis Hafner against Moore. Yankees have 1 hit. Brett Gardner's leadoff single in the first inning. That's it.
You know, Paul, you asked me in the first inning, the best pitching staff I was ever part of, that '98 Yankees was pretty good, especially right after El Duque came up in the middle of the year.
Yeah, I was almost going to say, you know, even the 1, 2, 3, and you know, you pitched on some great pitching staff with the Mets, then with Toronto,
the '88 Mets and the '98 Yankees. I thought were the 2 best pitching staffs that I was fortunate enough to be a part of. Doc Gooden with the Mets in '88, still
the real Doc Gooden.
The real Doc Gooden. You know, we used to, you know, radar guns weren't that big back then, Paulie, but we had an old ray gun, you know, and no radar gun readings on the scoreboard.
Right.
Dwight Gooden threw 95 to 96 miles an hour all night long on the old ray gun.
You're telling me?
Which got it at home plate. Now, the Jugs gun, which they use here, that's about 98.
Wow.
So you're sitting at 98 all night long facing Doc with an overhead hook. Lord Charles coming at you, too.
I was one of those guys in a little Cincinnati Reds uniform that used to hear it. He was one of those pitchers you could hear the ball. They threw hard enough where you could almost hear the seams of the ball making noise.
Doc was the real deal when he was in his prime.
One, 2. Speaking of El Duque, he will be at Old Timers Day on Sunday. His first appearance back here at Old Timers Day. Yes, we'll have it for you starting at 11. The on-field ceremonies begin at 11:15. There's a lot of concern about Paul O'Neill's ability to even play.
Yeah, that's right. I might be on the DL. The Old Timers DL, that's not good. The shoulders, it's not coming around, Michael.
That one is driven to left field. Backing up Rodriguez. Still back. He's on the track, and he makes the play in front of the scoreboard for the first out.
see a replay, I'm sure, but this must have he was right on it, so it must have just got off the end of the bat a little bit where the ball doesn't carry. And it looks like it does. They froze it, Coney. There you go, right off the end of the bat.
Just tell by the sound, too, a little bit, right? Just not quite the crack of the bat of a home run.
You know what's amazing, Coney, is an outfielder, too. I mean, after so many years, you can almost play defense by the sound. I mean, immediately you hear the sound, it's different, and you freeze. You don't take off back, but boy, when it's hit hard, you know, you're back to the wall as quick as you can.
Cano reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, a broken back ground ball up the middle. Quickly down on the count 0-2.
Well, if you get into a scouting report on the Yankees right now, this is where you want to be. You want to be facing Robbie Cano with nobody on base, 2 outs, or 1 out. I mean, nobody ahead of you have to, you know, make big pitches to.
He takes a wave at that one, and he throws. He thinks it's
3
3
outs.
outs.
See, Robbie, I screwed Robbie up. I thought there was 2 outs too. I messed up, Robbie. Sorry about that.
That is that's a little embarrassing for Cano. He was taking off the batting gloves, dropped his bat at home plate, just the second out. All right, that'll do it.
You see the umpire tries to tip him off there quietly. Kind of did him a favor. That's only 2, Robbie. That's only 2. Watch the umpire. That is. Yeah, I've walked off the mound forgetting how many outs there are.
We've all run off the field. I don't know about the plate, though. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't see that one too often.
I've always said when Robbie goes through these little things where he doesn't seem like he's on it, it's all because he's not swinging at good strikes. And it's going to be tough for him because it's, you know, he's the man now. He's the guy that pitchers don't want to give into, and such a great hitter when he stays inside the strike zone. But you get frustrated as a hitter, especially when you're struggling a little bit and you want to come out of it, you want to get hits. Sometimes you're just going to have to take walks and allow pitchers to make mistakes.
It's always that way with Cano, isn't it? Just getting good balls to hit. When he gets good pitches to hit and shows a little more patience, he goes off.
In terms of getting good pitches to hit, I mean, let's call it as it is. He's got a guy hitting 220 behind him. Yeah? So why would you give him anything to hit? If he's going to expand his strike zone, that's what they'll do. They don't feel as if they're really taking a chance if they put him on base. And the guy after Hafner is hitting 223. It's a very short lineup. Right off the thumbs and popped up to Zobrist, playing in short right field, and that will do it. The Yankees go down in order 1-2-3, and we go to the 5th. It's 3-0 Tampa Bay. Amazing ending to that game. Thank you, Bob. We'll hear from Bob and Jack and John and Meredith a little bit later on. We go to the 5th. And James Loney leads off. There's a strike from Pettit. Tampa Bay leads 3-0. There's just such a different feel this year with all of the injuries and how the Yankee lineup is laid out. You know, the last 15 years, 3-0 you'd laugh at if the Yankees were down to 3-0. They could do that in a third of an inning with one swing, but now it's so tough to get runs on the board, string together hits. As Loney grounds one to short. And everybody keeps saying the right things, David, and you know, we all saw Bull Durham where guys practice what to say in certain situations. But it's got to wear on a pitcher knowing I can't give up runs.
Well, yeah, without a doubt. I think Andy Pettit's probably feeling that right here. 3 runs. You got to hold them right there. You definitely can't give up anything else, but you have to fight that feeling. You know, you really do. You still have to stay in your own little world on the mound and just pitch your game and not let those things affect you, but much easier said than done. And that usually causes more anxiety early in the game. If you give up a couple of runs early, it just really gets you down because you know that you want to give your team a chance to score first when you're having trouble scoring runs.
Tell you what, offensively as a hitter, that it starts compounding itself. You try to do a little bit too much. You try to force those big hits, and it just, you know, it costs the decisions are even different. We were looking at Joe Girardi. He's got to manage the games different. I mean, everything seems to change when you're not throwing 7 or 8 runs up a day.
I think if you remember the start of the year when the Yankees were the success story of baseball, you know, it was about first blood. When they scored first, they had like a run of 17 straight wins. And the game of scoring first, I think it was 19-0 when they scored first.
Well, they're with strength, obviously, in the bullpen. I mean, if you can get to the bullpen with a lead, chances are things are good are going to happen. But, you know, you waste one of your strengths when you go into the late innings down.
It's a little strange, and you hear it from people. People are upset with the way the Yankees aren't scoring runs, and they're the offensive ranks, and they're not good. But, I mean, in fairness to the Yankees, nobody planned to have everybody go down. Almost all of your important players. Granderson is out. Teixeira is out now twice. Euclid is out twice, maybe for the rest of the year. Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez. I mean, you take those guys. You can't have Hall of Fame backups to Hall of Famers, so this is what you're going to get. These guys are going to have to scrap and claw for every single thing they get. It's hard to score now. (3-2), a little bit low, and Jennings walks.
To their credit, though, I mean, they're in a good position. I mean, they're in a tough division. They have clawed, and they've stayed close.
As Brian Cashman the other day, with all of these injuries, do you start to feel sorry for yourself? Woe is me. He goes, you can't. He said, you're not doing your job then. He said, you've got to be able to find replacements. And that leads us to our MetLife I Can Do This stat of the game. The Yankees have used 41 players in 2013. Last year they used 45 players total, and that includes all the call-ups in September. It's a lot of players to use here in the middle of June. And then when you look at it, only the Blue Jays with 46 and the Marlins with 42 have used more players this season than the Yankees. So the Yankees have done well with all of these injuries, but you can't get mad at anybody. They're not hitting. Well, they're not hitting because those are not the guys that you planned on.
You play the games. I mean, it's not a video game where, you know, you can just type in numbers. I mean, some players, good players, have great years and bad years. I mean, there's so many things come involved with the success or just flat out having a bad season, and injuries have always been part of the game. There's no doubt about it.
Well, the Yankees have had such a long, incredible run going back to 1995, Paulie. Really, even before that, 1994, during the strike year, the Yankees had won 70 games in 1994 and kind of got robbed of the postseason that year, as you remember, Paulie, and Donnie Baseball remembers. But nobody feels sorry for the Yankees. You know, they've been waiting for this, waiting for these Yankees, this organization, to be vulnerable. In fact, that's one of the reasons the Blue Jays made that big trade in the offseason, because they saw the Yankees as vulnerable.
And they thought the Red Sox were vulnerable. So that was their opening. You guys have been in baseball a long time. Have you ever seen a team hit with this many injuries to this many star players?
You know, I went through it in Cincinnati a lot. I mean, we had a couple, we had a few star players, Eric Davis and Cal Daniels. And, when the guys like that start getting hurt, we didn't have replacements. And granted, the Yankees have done a great job with bringing guys in. I mean, Overbates had a good, solid replacement. Nix has kind of gone into that role. So they've stayed in a tough division by bringing in some people that have filled the roles. And, it's hard to throw up the same numbers and things like that, but they're competitive, and they're going to have an opportunity, if they have a good second half, to still reach the playoffs.
Well, I was part of the 1987 Mets, right after the Mets won the World Series in '86, and the entire pitching rotation went down that year. Doc got hurt, Ron Darling got hurt, Sid Fernandez got hurt, Bobby Oida got hurt, I got hurt as the fifth starter. So, on the pitching side, that's probably one of the most devastating seasons that I've seen. But this has all been more offensive for the Yankees, all their key offensive players.
Here's the 1-2 inside to Sean Rodriguez, 2-2. Top of the fifth inning, Tampa Bay 3, Yankees nothing. He goes around, so Rodriguez down on strikes for the second time against Andy. Does not love that call.
Well, the thing is, as a hitter, whether you go or not, it's frustrating to know that the guy behind the plate who's supposed to pick up the balls and strikes can also watch the barrel of your bat. Just check the first base umpire, check the third base umpire, and there's far less arguments.
I agree completely. There's no reason to put that kind of pressure and take the onus and make that call. Especially on check swings, as you said. I mean, and I'm pretty stringent on check swings. I think if the barrel of the bat, enters the strike zone, it's if you can foul it off or hit a double with a check swing, it should be called a strike. But you're right, Paulie. He should get some help.
There's a strike.
So, Michael, I was talking between innings, your first Father's Day.
Yeah.
This came out pretty big, huh?
Yeah, I enjoyed it in Anaheim.
She had nice weather, right?
It was nice weather. I don't think Callie noticed.
No? She might have noticed you were gone.
Maybe.
She didn't text a couple of her friends, Dad's out of town? Oh.
Watch any cartoons with her yet, Michael? Any favorite shows?
Not yet. Not yet.
You got to check out Yo Gabba Gabba. Best programming on TV.
Coney, you're up to date on everything. I mean, pop culture all the way down to the 18-month-year-old. Everything. Coney's got it all covered.
She is mesmerized by TV, though. She just could stare at it for hours.
I remember going
whatever
out.
You put on.
My oldest, who's 23 now, I used to walk out and he'd just sit and look at Barney on TV. And I'd ask my wife, is this really good for a kid to watch a purple dinosaur walk around TV all night? Can we get him up and have him do something?
That one is driven to center field. Gardner is there, and that will do it. Now, how good was it for Paul's oldest? He's now a doctor, so I guess it was okay. We are halfway through here at the stadium. Tampa Bay 3 and the Yankees nothing. customers, you won't have to miss a game again now that you can watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Optimum Online. Get a full season of live Yankees games on the go for just $29.99. And if you're an Optimum customer who watches Yes on Optimum TV, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It is 3-0. Tampa Bay. Vernon Wells will lead off. He got here very early today to work with Kevin Long, and he was hitting off a pitching machine that throws as hard as any machine there is, and it kind of allows you to get your swing back to being short. And that was the goal coming into the day. They wanted to get his swing back to being short. Now, what does that mean in layman's terms, Paul?
Well, obviously, you need to be short and quick to the baseball. And if you look at his front hip, it just kind of opens, and it makes you long, and it makes you very prone to try to pull the ball. And if you force yourself to go to right field, you really don't have much left.
Tough hop for Escobar, and Wells is down. Well, they said that with Wells, after watching some video, notice that his hands are getting a little bit away from his body. Why would your hands do that?
Well, if you're using your body to swing the bat, your hands, they get away from it, and you kind of pull the bat with your body. And as a great hitter, you want to be, you want to use your hands. You want to drive through the bat. You want to create your bat speed with your hands.
Well, he had it going on in April. Most of his production numbers certainly happened in April when the Yankees got off to a great start. But he has really labored right now. He's 9 for his last 89. That is a long stretch of struggles. Count 0-2. Foul ball hit the ground, as Mike Estabrook wants everybody to know.
Mike can do it all, Coney. See that? See the ball hit the ground, everything.
Just going on sound, obviously. Here's the tip of the bat, and then notices the dirt on the ball. You see the ball definitely goes in the dirt. The rest of it is just based on sound.
The guy's kind of turned his fortunes around as Ichiro kind of got off to a tough start. It's up to 270 coming into the game.
The thing you notice about Ichiro is he could be 0 for 15, and then all of a sudden he could be 10 for 20, and he's not doing anything differently. It's just the ball is finding a hole. I mean, he never seems like he falls out of rhythm with what he does. Sometimes the ball drops, and sometimes it doesn't. Chop to first, Loney, as Moore cannot beat him to the bag. That's what I mean. Another time he might have grounded out there, but Ichiro runs hard all the time, and he picks up an infield single.
As an infielder, you got to know speed, and you see Loney, as soon as he took that step back on that inside hop, it was going to be a tough play. And it's one-on-one for pitcher.
Tough play for a left-handed pitcher. As you see, Moore had to spin all the way around after falling off towards third base. And he took a little peek at Ichiro, and he saw him coming, and he knew he's not going to get there.
Good call. Ichiro beats it by a step.
That's the thing about Ichiro, Michael. He has a good point about streakiness, but he's hard to strike out, and he's hard to walk. So he puts the ball in play a lot, kind of relying on his batting average on balls in play, and relying on that. A lot of infield hits with his legs.
Well, David, you were here on the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, and he was 3 for 4. He hit the home run. That was significant. But the other 2 hits, just reaches out and pokes it. One falls in short left field, drawn in infield. You get 2 RBIs. And although he's been in baseball for a long time, he has not lost that much speed. So he could still pick up infield hits.
Yeah, I think he's pretty close to about 50 hits away from 4,000, Paul, when you combine his Japanese numbers professionally.
Let's watch it on Yes View at the point of contact.
Well, this is actually one of the. That's a pretty cool picture. I can't even talk about the swing. It's actually one of the few times you see him actually posted up behind the baseball. And, you know, he hit that ball pretty hard. A lot of times he's out on his front foot and already kind of bailing out. It's been a while, Michael. I haven't seen that view in a while.
Nice.
Cool.
Like to get that view on your golf swing, huh?
Oh, my, sometimes. Depends which day it is.
The 0-2.
Can I borrow those guys tomorrow, Michael? Take them out to the golf course with me?
I think you'd have to bring your swing here.
Is that right?
And yeah, the way the cameras are set up, I think they could help you out.
Bad day today. Bad day. Beautiful day. It was just a bad golf day. How's that?
Now, if you were actually hitting a golf ball from home plate, could you hit the scoreboard in center?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. We did that in Oakland one day. Remember, they put those high stands in there and they said, we're out launching balls one day. It's like a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. It's not like it's a driver.
Watch this, David. It's a hole-in-one.
Look at this, Coney. Look, I'm posing, too.
Yeah, holding it, too. Holding the pose.
You know why? Because I know the outcome here. Folks, the ball goes in the hole, if you want to know.
On the fly?
No, it dribbled in. That was Bruce Smith.
As
my partner who gave me the big bear hug there.
Overbay strikes out. That ball was in the air a long time. You were holding that pose.
It's downhill, Michael. Like I said, it trickled. It took it a little time.
Now, a day earlier, you would have won something, right?
Did you hear that, Coney?
Yes.
$500,000 the day before, and then they took it off the hole.
What tournament was that?
Michael Jordan's out in Las Vegas. Awesome tournament. Great golf course, everything. 2 outs. Ichiro on first. You got to give it a go here, don't you, Coney? Trying to steal a base. Go on first move. Give him the high leg kick there.
Well, it's a big part of Ichiro's game. You know, when Ichiro's going right, he's all around ball player. Obviously, he can help you with his glove in the outfield, running the bases, getting clutch hits. So that's, this is part of his game. Even though you're down 3-0 with 2 outs here, if he can pick a spot and get down to second base and Stewart can drive him in, then yeah, all of a sudden you got something going. It's 3-1.
Stole a run, yeah, absolutely. And you look at Ichiro, he gets a big lead.
Nobody likes to make the third out at second base, obviously here down 3 runs, but Ichiro's a veteran. You give him the go. I'm sure he's got the green light. If he gets something he reads, he's got the ability to go.
See what Coney was talking earlier, the high leg kick, last pitch, that pitch was the slide step. Very hard to judge as a base stealer. What, that can affect the hitter too, because you're used to seeing that one leg kick, and then all of a sudden it's kind of a quick pitch with that quick step.
Very effective for Matt Moore. He doesn't really have a great pickoff move, but changing his delivery really is throwing off Ichiro right here. See, that's probably his best move. That's an easy move to read, but nonetheless, the next thing you know, he quick pitches it a home right off of that move right there.
Grounded to third. Longoria goes the short way, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 5. It's 3-0 Tampa Bay. Powered by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. And by the Volkswagen Sign and Drive event, where you can drive away for practically just your signature.
See that subway going by? I think O'Neill just jumped on there. I think he left. He's out.
Longoria with a fly ball to right field. Backing up is Eacher on the track at the wall. He leaps, and that ball is gone. A home run for Evan Longoria the other way, and it is 4-0 Tampa Bay. Well, this ballpark giveth and taketh away. That's a Yankee Stadium home run there.
First pitch right there, and you see the best part about Longoria there is he just stayed inside of that and drove that ball almost inside outs it right over the auxiliary scoreboard.
It seems like the approach, Coney, because Longoria's, he'll hook the ball, he'll pull the ball down at home, but I mean, he and Zobrist could really have stayed inside the ball against Pettit tonight. In this stadium, you don't have to get much of it to get it out of here.
You see a lot of that with these visiting teams coming into Yankee Stadium. These big right-handed hitters see the right field porch and they just get it in their mind. Go to right field. We saw it with Yasiel Puig of the Dodgers last night.
Ichiro give it an effort. Pulled his glove down and just made it in the front row.
Grounded sharply to Nix. Nice play across the diamond. And they get Myers for the first out.
Myers has had a few good at-bats. I mean, the sound of that ball hit hard with a line drive, wicked line drive in the first inning. This ball hit on the nose. Looks so easy in slow motion, doesn't it, Coney?
Yeah,
it happened so
nothing
quick.
To it.
You saw from the side view how he really posts up on that front leg, and it just we were talking earlier, Michael, about bat speed and how much he generates. The blooper there that Overbay takes. We're talking about Vernon Wells, how he was kind of swinging with his body. If we can see that side view again, you'll see Myers. And these are what's things that scouts really, really notice is their bat speed. And how he posts up on that front side and just whips that bat through the zone. See Molina out in front there, kind of hit that blooper over to Overbay. See Andy trying to force that cutter inside. He's missing with some out of the plate today. Talk about the young stud Myers, and you see really post up against that front leg, and it just that bat whips through the zone. All hit on the nose.
Count 1-2. Andy 2 outs into the 6th inning, just 79 pitches, so doing a good job with the pitch count. And he's down, though, 4-0. The 1-2 to Escobar. That swing, did he go? No, said Gibson.
Coney, is such a fine line, and you're talking about the finish on that cutter. I mean, when you don't get it in and you don't get that sharp break, are you coming around the ball or you're just not reaching out far enough?
Yeah, it's usually extension. It's usually, obviously, wrist position and extension. And if you just drop your arm a little bit and get around it, then that cutter turns into a mediocre BP fastball, and it kind of sits and it's flat. And those are the ones that get hammered. It's a fine line between, razor blade cutter that eats up hitters and one that just kind of takes a seat, pulls up a chair, and sits in the strike zone.
Those are the ones I used to like, Coney.
3-2. Foul ball.
Another thing that happens, Michael, you'll notice is when you don't score runs, you don't get the fans in the game. And it just seems like, you know, your crowds are kind of sitting on their hands because, you know, crowds come to see good games, obviously, but they come to see offense, too. They want to see runs. They want to see home runs. These guys, I don't know what they want to see other than another baseball. But, you know, offense brings fans to their feet. And so you don't get a lot of excitement when you're not scoring runs.
3-2. Fly ball. Right center, drifting over is Gardner. He puts it away. And that'll do it. But Evan Longoria picks up his 15th home run of the year. The first home run given up by Andy in 30 and 2/3 innings. It makes it 4-0 Tampa Bay. Three more games against Tampa Bay. Tomorrow on My 9, then Saturday on Yes, and Sunday is on Yes. Monday's an off day, then Texas comes to town. 2 at night, and then the Thursday game, it's a matinee. Then on to Baltimore, where the Yankees will play the Orioles 3 times. And Sunday, this Sunday, is Old Timers Day, and our coverage on Yes begins at 11 a.m.
Doing all 7 with me, Mike?
Absolutely.
Coney, you're dropping out after 4. Right?
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Old
Double dip
Timers
yesterday.
Day, yeah. I'll do Old Timers Day, and then I'm out.
We talked about the Dodgers series before, and I was kind of anxious, and I don't know if it happened because of the day game and the doubleheader, but was there a fan reaction from Mattingly?
I mean, they showed a video highlight in the first game, and he got a nice warm hand, and the bleacher creatures included him in the roll call, so that was nice. There's a base hit for Reed Brignac. And that breaks it 0 for 18 for Brignac as he leads off the 6th with a single.
Again, it's not always how hard you hit him, Coney, but where you put him. This ball kind of gets in on him a little bit, kind of knocks him back, but just enough to get over Escobar's hit. Boy, it's a big sigh of relief as a hitter when you see that thing finally hit the grass out there.
Here's Gardner. He is 1 for 2. And a strike.
He's had that good curveball all night, Coney. Early in the count. It's a strikeout pitch, too.
Definitely been probably his best pitch all night. He's got a good feel for it. He gets really good spin on that curveball too. You know, normally You know, as Matt Moore probably averages around 92, 93 with his fastball, can get up to 95, but that curveball retains some velocity too. It's like 83, 84 miles an hour. That's more slider-like velocity, but yet he gets curveball break on it. Took a little bit off of that one, but you could tell, you know, whenever you're throwing a curveball with that much break, with that kind of velocity, that's real tight spin.
Yeah, and what the velocity does as a left-handed is you don't pick up the spin. You know, and you know, picking up the break of a breaking ball is picking up the spin as quick as you can. The harder it is, obviously, the faster it's spinning, the later you pick it up. It's a tough. Oh, there's that pitch we talked about. It just eats up lefties. When you've seen a lot of curveballs, you have a tendency to start leaning out over the plate, looking for that ball to cover it. And the next thing you know, if he can get that ball inside, it just eats you up on your hands.
Bounced up there. Blocked by Lobaton.
And if you're Brett Gardner, you know you've seen that pitch inside only once tonight, so he's not real comfortable throwing it in there. You still have to just get that out of your mind and cover that breaking ball and that fastball away. If he throws a perfect pitch on the inside corner, you just got to fight it off, try to foul it off to get that ball away.
And he walks him. So the Yankees have their first rally, first and second, with nobody out here in the sixth.
An important inning to get back into this game. It's getting late. Tampa Bay, one of their strengths last year was their bullpen, not this year. Hadn't been nearly as good as it has been. You know, if you can get into that bullpen, you got a shot.
So Hickey talks things over with more. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Estabrook has to break it up. Anything of import ever take place in those conferences?
Well, in this situation, obviously, when you see the whole infield gather and you have a sort of a summit, they're probably discussing every situation. Knicks up to bat, maybe a bunt defense type things. You know, first and second, nobody out. Making sure they're covering all their bases in terms of how they're going to handle a bunt. I kind of doubt Knicks is bunting here, but you have to be prepared in case he does.
It's funny, Michael, playing in right field, I used to wonder the same thing. What are they talking about? You know, when you're in right field, you're as far as away as we are here in the booth. You have no clue what's going on.
Did any pitching coach ever straighten you out when you were struggling by taking a trip to the mound?
Rarely. When you're in the heat of the battle, it's hard to even pick up or listen to what they're saying. But he can give you a breather. He can give you a break just to help you get your breath back. It's more about tempo and timing.
1-0. It's now 2-0.
You know, Mel Stoudemire was good about that. He didn't like to give you a lot of mechanical advice during the game, but he'd immediately come out there and say, hey, just want to give you a breather. Here, breathe a little bit, take your time, know who your hitter is, know what pitch you want to go with, you know, just to give you a chance to regather a little bit.
You talk about that, and you just realize what one pitch can change the game. I mean, you know, a double here and it's 4-2, and you got a big rally going, and a ground ball double play. You're 2 outs with nobody. You know, it's just one pitch can mean so much in an inning, like now. It's another thing, Coney, as you talk about that two-seamer that he really doesn't have. You really can't look to throw a good sinker and get that ground ball here.
Fouled that back, 2-2. Brignac's at second. Rare, well, it's the sixth inning. That's the first Yankee in scoring position tonight. And Gardner is at first. Nobody out. Yankees down 4-0.
I think Matt Moore's best chance to get a ground ball in this situation is with that changeup. So 2-2 here. Nick's pretty good swings on the last 2 fastballs. He's gotten back to 2-2. Let's see if he goes with it.
Low fastball, but again, yeah, to your point, Coney, because of that changeup, the way you throw it, you get that downward action, and you can get a guy out on his front foot. Pretty gutsy pitch to throw it 3-2 here, though.
And he walked him. Bases loaded. Now you have to pitch to Cano. We talked about not much of a threat behind him. But with the bases loaded, no place to put him, he should see a decent pitch. Bloop single, 2 walks, and here we go. With Cano now stepping to the plate as the tying run. 299 hitter with the bases loaded, 9 grand slams. So you've got Brignac at third, Gardner at second, and Nix over at first. Moore will go from the full windup with the bases loaded. Grounded foul.
Well, if you could draw up a comeback, if you're Joe Girardi, this is what you want. Bases loaded, your best hitter up. Right there, Robbie just came off that ball. That wasn't one of Moore's better curveballs. Kind of hung in the zone a little bit. Robbie's approached it. I mean, he could drive that ball to left center field.
See McGee, the big hard-throwing lefty, up, and Matt Moore going from the windup is strictly personal because he is just conceding all the base runners. Anything in the gap, and all 3 will score. And when you're a pitcher and you're going to pitch from the windup with nobody out and the base is drunk, that means you're doing it on just rhythm. You just feel like, yeah, you know, I don't care about these runners. I need to get the ball in the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. The ball gets away. Scoring is Brignac. Gardner moves to third. Nix to second. Yankees on the board. Rays now lead 4-1.
One thing about that hard curveball, you kind of overthrow it, but I mean, Cano's having so much trouble picking up the spin on this ball that you see the curveballs that he swung at, but also hard to did everything he could to try to keep it in front of him.
See, this ball hits right off the front of home plate and careens off of the catcher's arm and then almost into the Yankee dugout. But watch where this ball hits, right off the lip with a lot of spin on it. Actually in the dirt in front. My mistake. Looks like that ball actually was 6 inches in front of home plate.
The funny thing is that ball usually ricochets opposite of the spin. So you get a breaking ball from a lefty, it hits, it actually goes backwards.
Now Moore's had some struggles in this inning. He has 8 wins this year. 5 of them have been wins in which he pitched 6 innings or fewer. So he's not going deep into games, and here he is, 6th inning, as if on cue, he's starting to struggle. Cano is 0 for 2, fielder's choice and a strikeout. 1-2 count here. Infield is back. Another block by Lobaton.
Just had to figure he'd go back to that breaking ball. He threw that good fastball, 94, up and away out of the zone. I think he wants to give him anything he can drive in a fastball, especially when he swung at that curveball in the dirt all night. You ever get scared after you get a wild pitch like that as a pitcher and you think, you know, I got to throw this for a strike. I don't want to bounce it. That's where it becomes a little dangerous.
Definitely does after already, you know, wild pitching in 1 run.
2-2. Still 2-2.
It's a pitch you just years ago didn't see. And it's a good pitch right there because he got that inward break in on his hands. It was a changeup. Just didn't see that lefty-lefty changeup. We talked about the crowd getting involved. Well, you got some offense, and then now you hear some roars in the crowd. Big part of the game right here.
Swing and a foul ball that Robiton got hit with.
And another changeup, back-to-back changeups to Cano. You want to be a catcher, huh, Cone?
Wow, you got a lot of catcher's gear on, but there's still a lot of exposed areas, and that looked like the side of the foot. Direct hit on the instep. Even with a little protective gear there, not enough. Lobaton looks like he's going to walk it off. But I think to your point, Paulie, yeah, I think the reason we've seen 2 straight changeups to Cano is because he's shied away from that curveball in the dirt. Maybe he, just like you said, maybe a little leery of throwing another one down there on top of home plate or in front, and chancing another run scoring on a wild pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, should I say, nobody out. And that one is laced into center field. Jennings back, still back, and he makes the play on the run. Tagging is Gardner, he'll score. Nix moves to third, and now the Rays lead 4-2.
I know that, Cano's a little frustrated, but I tell you what, this is a good at bat and a productive out. Hit the ball hard.
We'll see Robbie come up, and first pitch curveball, he's out in front. Another one in front of home plate, swings wildly. Now misses with the fastball up and in. Another one down. Lobaton blocked it well. The changeup down and in. Another changeup that he just misses. And then with the fastball, Robbie drills it to center field. I thought for a minute that might get over Jennings' head, but not only does Robbie get the sac fly, you add the productive out on top of it because he moves the runner from second to third, now with 1 out.
43rd ribby for Cano. Now runner at third with 1 out. They will surrender the run. And that's exactly what they do. A ground ball is short. Scoring is Nix, and the Yankees put up a 3 spot. Still batting as they trail now 4-3. 33rd ribby for Hafner.
As a hitter, you go up, man on third base, you look at the defense. Defense back. The easiest thing to do is roll over and just hit a ground ball. Obviously, you're still trying to drive the ball, but you've got to get this done. You need every run, and they're just absolutely giving you that run if you put the ball in play.
Here's Vernon Wells. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball to right and a ground ball to short. Yankees show some life here with a 3 spot.
Funny, all of a sudden Moore has kind of lost the release point for that curveball. I had such a good curveball the first five innings, and all of a sudden bouncing a lot of them.
Starting to overthrow it a little bit. Sometimes you try to make it break quicker and nastier.
Broken bat right back to Moore. And that will do it. But the Yankees get 3 runs on just 1 hit. 2 walks and nobody left. Let's go to the 7th. 4-3 Tampa Bay. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the Toyota Prius, official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. And under the Toyota sign, you see Java Chamberlain beginning to throw as Andy Pettitte will go into his 7th inning of work. Yankees have cut it to 1. They're down 4-3, and Jose Lobaton will lead it off against Andy. Good pitch count with just 83 now on the Cadillac scoreboard. 4-7-0, leading 3-3-1. Just 1 hit and 2 walks in that inning, but the Yankees got it done. Got a wild pitch and 2 sac flies. Fly ball center field. Gardner for the first out.
Got new life for Andy Pettitte out there. Staring at a 4-0 game and wondering, well, geez, here we go again. Now he got a chance. And as Michael said, his pitch count's in good shape. Only 85, 87, the 88th pitch coming now. Got a chance to pitch next inning as well. Stay in this game as long as you can. Get through 8 innings, maybe into the 9th. You're only 1 run down now.
I was just looking at Lobaton last year. You think he took some grief on this? Got married at home plate before the game at the Tropicana Field down there. What do you think that welcoming was when he came back in the locker room, huh?
Oh, definitely. that is just, there's so many ways you can go with that one. Definitely.
I take it Jody didn't want that?
Yeah, I ran it by her. She really wasn't high.
So we ended up at the Plaza Hotel instead. Yeah. Good decision. Huh? For us, not your pocketbook, but for us.
Yeah.
Right?
Might have been cold in February here.
Yeah.
What do you go for the honeymoon? Take her to the clubhouse for the honeymoon, right? Hop in the hot tub.
Yeah.
The 2-1. 2-2.
We talked about Andy Pettitte has had so much success against lefties, and we talked about Moore not being able to throw that 2-seamer in to set up that breaking ball right there. Left-handed hitters have trouble because they can't cover the inside and the outside, and Andy Pettitte's been able to do that against lefties all year. When you're looking in, his front hip's going to kind of open, and it just leaves you open for that breaking ball, and you can't lay off of it.
So Loney is 0 for 3 against Pettitte. Pitch to Jennings is high. Foul the other way.
It's a very important out here for Andy Pettitte to get with his 95th pitch coming. You get out of this 1-2-3, you're going to pitch the 8th inning as well. And you remember Dave Stewart winning the 20 games 4 years in a row. He was the king of pitching 8 innings, giving up 4 runs, and hanging around and getting a win.
Line and a base hit to left field. Cutting over as Wells. Gets the ball before it hits the wall, but Jennings picks up his 2nd double of the night. MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years. Join the millions of fans and subscribe today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere.
Well, Jennings has been all over Pettitte tonight, too. Yeah. He's had good at-bats.
Jennings, one of the guys that really hadn't changed his approach. Most guys look like they're trying to shoot him to right center. Jennings has been all over, pulling the ball. Talked about his athleticism. I mean, one of the top football players in Alabama in high school. Kind of a cool thing to graduate and just decide what sport you want to play, you know.
The 0-1 to Rodriguez. Fly ball deep left center. It's going to split the outfielders and go to the wall. Wells plays it out there. Rodriguez stops at second with an RBI double as Jennings scores to make it 5-3 Tampa Bay.
Coney, you talked about it being a big out. Now you have 2 consecutive hits, and you got Joe Girardi coming out to take you out. 1 pitch away from getting out of this and probably going into the 8th inning. Kind of a hanging changeup. Ball drilled down in the left field gap.
Well, Andy gets a nice hand as he jogs off the mound. Girardi makes the call to the bullpen. He's going to bring in Jabba Chamberlain to face Ben Zobrist. Yankees are down by 2. And T. So Andy Pettitte was cruising, got the first 2 outs of the 7th, then double by Jennings, double by Rodriguez, and out of the game as they go to Jabba Chamberlain. This will be his 17th game, 19 hits and 9 walks, so 28 base runners in 15 2/3 innings. He has struck out 18, opponents hitting .297 against him.
Yeah, that I don't understand, Coney. I mean, his velocity's been up. You look at Andy Pettitte, and he, again, 1 pitch from getting out of that inning and being in there down 4-3 and back-to-back base hits. But you know what? Did he have his best stuff of the year? No. But did he battle? He battled. He got to the point where he's in the game. Just didn't quite have his best cutter tonight, huh, Coney?
No, he didn't. But, you know, the most disappointing part was the finish.
Right.
You know, because your team just scored 3 runs. You got 2 quick outs. You got a chance to stay in this game. And now you let Tampa Bay answer back, and you're on the bench. So that's a hard pill to swallow for a starting pitcher when you had a chance to get back in it and you let them come back and answer.
Jabba against Zobrist. Batting from the left side. Pitch outside. Zobrist is 0 for 14 lifetime against Chamberlain. .95-mile-an-hour fastball.
You see Jabba's velocity's up there, and he's got a good curveball. But when you see that, batters are hitting .297 against him, to me that means they're getting good swings, and you must be seeing the ball well. I never understood guys with this good of stuff giving up that many hits.
It's just sort of ironic when you think about it. The 2 #1 drafts that the Yankees have been high on for so long are Phil Hughes and Jabba Chamberlain. The history's well documented, and now they both come down to potentially their last year as a Yankee, and maybe they get signed, maybe they don't. But they're both kind of come to the crossroads of their career with the Yankees after so much fanfare. When Jabba came up, The 100-mile-an-hour fastball, the midges on his neck in Cleveland during the playoffs.
We thought we'd hear about midges tonight, Michael, huh?
We do hear about him every now and then.
It really has been a remarkable history for both Phil Hughes and Jabba Chamberlain, and they're both at the same sort of point in their Yankee careers. Could go either way.
And there's a strike, 96 miles an hour, and Zobrist just looks at it as Jabba comes in and does the job. For the Rays, 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 man left at the end of 6.5 time for the 7th inning stretch. Tampa Bay leads the Yankees 5-3, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps. And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome an honored guest of the New York Yankees. United States Air Force E-4 Senior Airman Joseph Altero, who served in the global war on terrorism. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Thank you, Bob. So you have a full crew on the postgame, and we have a full crew here in the booth as we give you the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 5-3, Tampa Bay leads. Longoria, a solo home run and a sac fly. Longoria's home run actually, was kind of unusual because he was 2 for 22 against Pettit up to that point. Cano and Hafner each with sac flies, and Moore 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He's still in there as we go to the bottom of the 7th on the Cadillac scoreboard. 5-9-0, leading 3-3-1. Suzuki, Overbay, and Stewart here in the 7th.
I would think Moore's on a kind of a short leash here. Bullpen's going. He struggled last inning. A couple lefties coming up. Madden's thinking he can get through that part of the lineup. 90 pitches, but again, it's just where he usually gets into the game. This is very uncomfortable for him to be in the 7th inning.
And he's high and counting 2-1.
Check out my handy little notes here, Mike.
One of the last pieces of the puzzle for a talented young pitcher is adjustments on the fly, and when you lose your release point on a certain pitch, namely his curveball the last 2 innings, you know how quickly you can get it back.
As I look, I mean, this is only the 3rd time he's pitched into the 7th inning. So it's not a given every time out that he's going to give you 7 strong. Very successful, though. We talked about it earlier in the game. Off to an 8-0 start. This is kind of a turnaround game for him. If you're Joe Madden, you can think you can turn him around by getting a win here tonight.
This series is an important series for these two teams because of how bunched up it is in the East. And Tampa Bay comes into this 4-game set, 2.5 games behind the Yankees and 3 in the loss column. Rounded to short, backhanded by Escobar. The long throw just gets Ichiro.
You see the pressure that Ichiro puts on the defense. I mean, Escobar was playing in anyway, but soon as that ball hits you, you know you got to come up with it clean. You know you got to rush a throw over there. You saw him kind of jab at this ball. You see how shallow he's playing, but everything is in fast motion, and you've got that much speed at the plate. Did everything right. A little bobble there almost cost him. It's a big out for Moore. Getting that first out of the inning means so much, huh, Conan?
I don't know if I can ever remember seeing anybody get out of the box better than Ichiro does. I mean, in the history of the game. And he had 5 steps. You know, the ball's off the bat, takes 1 hop, and he's 5-6 steps down the line.
You see Ichiro over there still talking and massaging that bat over there. I tell you what, a bat didn't get a hit for me. I wasn't friendly with it. Takes a lot of pride in taking care of that bat.
Mr. Bat, meet Mr. Water Cooler.
Meet something. Didn't have to be just something. Teach that bat a lesson if it doesn't get you a hit. See that Moore hasn't lost velocity. 94, tough pitch on the outside corner. Whoa.
Blame Bill Bolin on this, our producer.
You know what? Every once in a while, this was just a joke. I was playing a joke. That's all.
Intense joke.
Like how you pull it back up and then get a drink. Kick it. Pull it back up.
All the crazy things you do, Coney. It's all fun and games now, right?
Get back up here. Get me a drink.
That one is driven the other way. Going to be trouble. Diving try by Rodriguez. He can't make the play. It's a fair ball. And it bounces into the seats for a double for Overbay.
Well, I tell you what, you saw immediately that on his elbow, that skid mark from the dirt. And that brings back some bad memories. Those hurt. That track is harder than the dirt anywhere in the infield.
Wow, was that a fair ball? Wow, that was really, really close.
See that right there on his elbow, and I'm telling you what, those things burn in the shower. That thing will be there for weeks.
Well, nice try by Rodriguez, but Matt Moore still gets knocked out of the game as Joe Madden will go to the bullpen. We'll check to see if that's a fair or foul ball, but right now Overbay is on second. Fly ball by Lyle Overbay. No argument, but check this out. No chalk kicks up at all. But the third base umpire, Alan Porter, was there, said fair ball. I don't know. Looked foul to me, but it counts what Porter says, as he is on second, Overbay. And Jake McGee, the left-hander, comes in out of the bullpen. "37 strikeouts in 27 and a third innings." Got a high ERA. Stewart shows bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner.
Longoria playing a little deep there. Stewart was going to drag bunt there, try to move the runner over and get a base hit at the same time.
Another strike. He throws hard. Count 0-2. Runner at second, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. It's 5-3 Tampa Bay. Grounded in the hole. Overbay tries to advance, and a ball hit in front of him and gets thrown out. That's bad base running right there.
That's a big play right there, because I don't think Escobar can get Stewart. He's just moving too far to his right. I don't think he's going to be able to plant and throw him out. You see, he went a long way for this ball. It's going to be a tough play at first. Good heads-up play by Escobar. A lot of times when you're watching that ball, you don't even know that runner broke.
Here's Brignac. What could a runner be thinking, Paul, doing that? Ball's hit in front of him.
Well, every once in a while, I mean, the play just happens and you break and you take off and you don't process what happens. I mean, you know that the ball has to hit left of you. It's got to be to the right side of the infield, or you watch it go through on the left side. It just, you make mistakes, and it's just not, there's no other reason to.
And sometimes it's just that simple.
Yeah, you just make a mistake. I mean, you just didn't read the ball. You didn't think about the play before it happened, and major league players make mistakes. That's just the way it is.
Ground ball to second off the bat of Brignac. Zobrist comes him down, and that will do it. No runs a hit, and 1 man left on base. We go to the 8th. 5-3 Rays. Second game of the 4-game set. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. Roberto Hernandez will go for the Tampa Bay Rays against David Phelps. Coverage begins at 6 on Yes, and then the game starts at 7 on My 9. Evan Longoria will lead off here in the 8th inning against Java, and boy, you look at Myers and Longoria, they look alike.
Myers, Longoria, and you'll see a lot of different things. Only one different thing, actually. A more level swing with Myers. You're going to see some more line drives, but a little uppercut from Longoria, but a lot of things happen in the same. I mean, if you grow up in that organization with the Rays, I mean, who's your superstar? It's Longoria, and you kind of just watch it and learn, and you can see those swings are very similar.
So the Rays, on the first stop of the road trip, they took 1 of 3 against the Red Sox. And a 4-game set here in the Bronx. Longoria has 2 ribbies tonight. He's 1 for 2, a sac fly against Pettit, and a home run.
Look at those numbers. I mean, Evan Longoria has fought some injuries over the years, but he's a real deal over at third base. Plays for power, hits well, unbelievably defensive player.
Hyundai scoreboard 5-3 Tampa Bay.
See, Longoria, to me, really had the approach to take Pettit to right center tonight, which is kind of away from what he does. See if he changes a little bit to Jabba. See if he goes back to trying to hook the ball. See, just an inside-out swing, just probably 340 feet away in the front row.
Longoria struggles with Jabba, 1 for 16. But he was 2 for 22 before that home run against Pettit. So those numbers could give you a clue, but sometimes they backfire. That one is driven out to right center field. Gardner, track, wall, leaps. See ya! Another home run for Longoria as he defies the numbers again. And Tampa Bay now leads 6-3.
Again, right center field. That's his approach. He comes into Yankee Stadium and he's going to shoot that ball to right center. I wouldn't expect anything different tomorrow after 2 home runs tonight. And fastball's supposed to be in, but look, out over the plate. As a hitter, when that ball's out over the plate, gives you enough room to get those hands through and drive the ball out to right center field.
Can't really call that a short porch home run. That's in the Yankee bullpen.
Will Myers takes a slider for a strike.
Longoria, the face of the franchise, was rewarded in the offseason with a 10-year, $135 million contract. So he's your guy.
I think you'd be saying these numbers, Tony.
And he's a bargain at that. But he had signed an undervalued contract, and Tampa Bay actually cut him a break by giving him that extension.
You also have to realize that, I mean, that contract with the Mets or the Yankees are a big organization. People are used to it. You know, if you're the Tampa Bay Rays, you're taking a huge chance, and you have a lot of belief in a player. And why not? I mean, he's a really good player to put that much money into, you said it, Coney, the face of your franchise.
He is, you know, and it was really the way the 10-year deal was structured. It's kind of backloaded, so that in the first few years, for example, next year he makes $7.5 million. In 2015, $11 million. By the end of the deal, it's up near $20 million. But he doesn't have a no trade clause, and he does have a $2 million bonus if he does get traded. So even structurally, the Rays have a little bit of protection on the back end of the contract. When the numbers start to go up, they do have the ability to trade him. But he'll collect $2 million if he's traded.
the end of that contract, you get into like Powerball numbers, right?
Definitely. I mean, they really, really go up. 2020, $15 million.
Michael, remember when I was here last time? Powerball was like, what, 350 million or 400? What was it?
We didn't win.
Yeah, Audrey bought the ticket, so we got nothing. Nothing.
An 84-year-old woman in Tampa won. Zephyr Hills, Florida. She's got it all.
Been there.
Had it?
Drank the water. Remember Zephyr Hills water down there in spring training?
Yes. Swing and a miss. Myers down on strikes. To vote for the Chevy Player of the Game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the post-game show. I read a story about that lady that there's a guy ahead of her online and let her go first. And she did quick pick.
That's a commercial. Is that real?
Yeah, it was real. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Myers goes down on strikes, and Girardi will go to the bullpen. So Jabba gets 2 strikeouts and serves up a home run. 6-3 Rays as Boone Logan comes on. With the 67th annual Old Timers Day special. See your favorite Yankees legends as they don the pinstripes and take the field once again. Special event coverage will start Sunday morning at 11, only on Yes. And Paul, you're going to get one of these neat hats they have. And David as well. Old Timers Day logo. It says Old Timers Day. Little white brim. Nice 7 1/4. That should fit you.
That's got no chance with you, brother. No.
Unbelievable. We measured. I came in at 7.5. 7.5.
Meters or inches?
Oh, you know what? Go back to Cincy. Boone Logan takes over. Done with
this is actually pretty nice, though.
Matt Joyce was announced as the pinch hitter for Molina, and that's why Girardi countered with Logan. And a strike.
You see 2 power lefties in the game now. McGee and Logan. I mean, in the old days, Coney is a left-handed hitter. You saw the guys coming in out of the bullpen, lefties. They were all little sliders. Fastball,
specialist, right?
Yeah, trick pitchers. These guys are kind of against that. Hard throwers.
Ichiro with the run, he can't make the play. Went off the heel of his glove as Joyce will go to second with a pinch hit double.
Tell you what, there's nothing harder than coming off the bench, pinch hitting. Say off a lefty throwing 95. Ichiro got a great jump. He actually overran it a little bit. Had a jump there. Just didn't catch it in the web.
Quietly, Matt Joyce is having a nice year. He's got 14 home runs on the year. Facing a lefty there, got another good at bat. He was an all-star for the Rays a couple of years back. I think one of their lone representatives. But he's always wanted to be an everyday guy, Paulie. I can hit lefties. I can hit lefties. He's always been talking to Joe Madden, the manager, about getting more playing time. He's putting together a nice little year so far this year.
Every time he steps to the plate against a lefty, he has an opportunity to prove that too. I mean, that's a good at bat. I mean, to hammer a line drive off of Logan.
Nice block by Stewart. Want to put a bow on Jabba's appearance, so he went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a home run. He's now allowed to run in 4 of his past 5 outings, giving up 7 runs during that stretch. And there's been some talk that maybe his spot in the 7th inning will go to Preston Claiborne. And it's hard to figure because he is throwing the ball hard and getting consistent outs.
You go back to what we kind of harped on earlier in the game, that the Yankees don't score runs, and every game they're going to have to battle till they get guys back.
That one is driven to center field and deep. Going back, Gardner. He's on the track. He's at the wall. Wow. See ya. A home run, Yunel Escobar. A 2-run shot. And Tampa Bay pulling away, lead the Yankees 8-3.
Talked about again earlier in the game, the talent that this guy possesses, and you just don't understand why it doesn't show up every single day. But this kid can play the game. A lot to work with. Dead center field. Gardner thought he had a beat on it. It just continues to carry out of here.
Some bat speed. Drive the ball into the net, protecting Monument Park. That's the sound of a home run.
We talked about the sound earlier. That's the sound of the meat of the bat. Just everything perfect. What I was talking about earlier, Michael, in the inning is you just can't be patient with guys. I mean, you're going to have to. In the old days, when you're 10 games up and you're beating guys' brains out, I mean, you can be patient with pitchers. You can be patient with guys who are in slumps. Now you got to try to win every single game to stay in this thing, and you just can't. Guys are on short leashes. That's just the way it is.
(2-0). 2-1. So the double and the home run against Logan, that's shocking. He had not allowed a run over his last 17 appearances, covering 10 innings. He's been pitching very well. 2-1 to overtime. Let's take a look at Escobar's swing on Yes-View.
It's pretty perfect right there. Everything is going right. Shoulder in there, weight distribute. You can tell before he even hit that ball, good things were going to happen.
Moving out to right field. Ichiro drifts back in front of the track. He makes the play for the second out.
Maloney had the bats off of Pettit. All of a sudden he looks out and got another lefty. Once in a while as a left-hander, you just want to try to keep things even by seeing facing a righty once in a while to make sure that you still feel good at the plate.
Waves through that one.
It's almost unfair about pitchers, Coney, and you went through it early in your career where you were a fireballer. When you throw that hard, your breaking ball's better too. It just comes down to arm speed and then how much spin you can put on the ball.
They go hand in hand without a doubt.
Talk about the Rays, and this is an important series, and this is an important road trip, and they do this a lot. They come up, they play the Red Sox, they play the Yankees in the same road trip. You can make up a lot of ground, or you can bury yourself on some of these road trips. You come up here and lose 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 6. You could really put a damper on things. They lost a doubleheader in Boston, and then they won last night. Then they come in here, and it looks right now that they're going to take the first one of a 4-game series against the Yankees.
Served into center field, a base hit for Loney. So Logan gives up 2 hits to left-handers.
Way out in front, off the end of the bat. Perfectly placed.
Everything was out of whack there except for he did one thing. He kept his hands back. And when you keep your hands back, you still have an opportunity to put the ball in play. Those hands come with you. And you're pretty much, you've already committed, and you can't do anything. Your body sometimes bails and gets ahead. If your hands stay back, you still have a chance. Wow, nasty, nasty slider there.
A big night for Jennings. 3 for 3 and a walk, a couple runs scored, a couple of doubles. Still early enough in the season, Paulie. Jennings has raised his average 8 points so far tonight. Get another hit here, boy, you still get a 10-point swing in your batting average.
Yeah, that's bad. When you look up and it's like you hit 210 and it's August, it's like, I can have a good month and I'm only going to 220, We saw that in Russell Martin last year. He had dug such a deep hole that it's just a grind every day to come to the ballpark and try to get over 200, try to get to 210.
So B.J. Upton's going through down in Atlanta right now.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Preston Claiborne up. And the 2-2. Fastball high, 3-2.
The Yankees went on that long road trip, come back, then they played doubleheader. Every once in a while you're just going to have a night. All of a sudden you get behind and you just don't have the energy to come back. And it just looks like tonight, once they gave up that couple more runs, it's not going to be.
Right back to Logan, and flips the throw to first base, and that'll do it. So a tight game kind of blown apart with the long ball. First Longoria goes the other way into the Yankee bullpen. Then a couple batters later, Yunel Escobar to Memorial Park. Jack Curry and John Flaherty recap tonight's series opener and bring you the latest updates from around baseball, plus Joe Girardi's manager's report and Meredith Morakovitz with the clubhouse reaction. It's the W.B. Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. Jamie Wright comes in for the Rays. And he will face the top of the order as Tampa Bay leads 8-3.
Here's one of these big guys. Hitters are hitting 198, so you know they're not getting very good swings off him, but he has a 3.5 ERA, so you're not getting the outs when he needs them, the big ones.
Game kind of turned in the 7th inning. The Yankees scored 3 in the bottom of the 6th to cut it to 4-3, and we've heard it forever. Your team gets runs, you have to shut down the other team, and Andy couldn't do it as he gives up a run in the 7th inning. And the Tampa Bay Rays have not looked back. Escobar with the home run into Monument Park in dead center. Turned a 6-3 game into an 8-3 game. Oh, and that hits right, and it goes up the middle, and Gardner beats it out for a single. Let's see if Jamie Wright's okay.
Like that almost hit his hand, huh?
Yeah, it looks like he got his hand up. You know, another scary line drive right back up the middle. As Will Myers hit one right over Andy Pettit's head earlier in the game. And of course, the Rays have had their share with Cobb getting hit in the head recently. And that's just, wow, get your head out of the way and you get your pitching hand in there.
Hit it pretty solidly. The Rays had to go through the ugliness of this with Alex Cobb. That hit his head, this off the hand of Wright, so they'll give him a couple of throws. Now we've seen Andy Pettit do this where the hand was actually vibrating. He said you really can't feel anything, but you don't want to leave the game.
I was going to say, a lot of times when you get hit in the fingers with the ball, it really doesn't hurt. It goes numb. You lose the feeling for the ball, and I'm sure, Coney, that has a lot to do with when you release it if you can't feel it.
Especially when you're trying to put spin on it. Sometimes you can throw a couple fastballs and say it feels all right, and then you throw that first slider or that first curveball, and you feel the seams rip off your fingertips, and that's when you notice.
So runner on first base for the Yankees, and that'll bring up Jason Nix. Nix is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Gardner has 2 of the Yankees' 5 hits. He also walked and scored. Wright deals a strike.
You see, Wright has good movement on the ball. Fastball, but with 89, but with a ton of movement. He throws a split finger and threw a cutter one. He's got a few pitches he can go at with.
It's been a really good 5-year run for this organization, the Rays, you know. And if you remember, Paulie, they were the Devil Rays.
They were the laughing stock. I mean, they were the team that you walked in and knew you were at least win 2 out of 3.
It's been 5 years since they changed the name just to the Rays. They used to have a little fine too. They go around sort of jokingly and say if you use the name Devil again, Devil Rays, they'd have a little fine going because they really wanted to change the culture.
Strange that they put that much energy. It doesn't seem like it affects Duke.
Exactly. But in the Rays press guide, over the last 5 years, they changed the name on November 8, 2007, and in the 5 seasons since, they've averaged 92 wins a year. Been to the postseason 3 times and won 2 American League East titles. Previously, when it was the Devil Rays, they averaged 97 losses per season.
Yeah.
I think it probably has more to do with Joe Madden, in the front office and the
Definitely
ownership.
Changed the thing, and they were patient with some of their young pitching, and you could see it starting to turn around. That it really in this division to be a contender, it takes a lot, and it's it's a credit to that organization.
Swing and a miss. Knicks down on strikes.
Well, they certainly took advantage of all those #1 draft choices they got from all those 97 loss seasons. Think about David Price, Evan Longoria, first-round picks. They really went pitching, when they had all those picks. Other than Longoria, Carl Crawford too. I guess you could throw in that mix too, going way back. The thing that's impressive to me, Paulie, is over the last 5 years, only 15 different starting pitchers have been used, which is 5 fewer than any other major league club, and the fewest by an AL club over a 5-year span since the 80 to 84 Orioles. Remember those teams?
They had a few. Yeah, they had a few good hurlers out there, didn't they?
They'd run 5 out there, and they'd make 35 starts. And Jim Palmer and Flanagan. That's pretty impressive. 15 different starting pitchers they've used over the last 5 years.
Makes Joe Madden's lineup card easy. You just, get in a 5-man rotation and just pencil them in.
And you got to feel that the Rays kind of feel good about their positioning now, because even with the injuries, David Price on the DL, Alex Cobb getting hit, in the head, going on the 7-day DL. They get those 2 guys back in their rotation, and now you got Will Myers up here, your future prospect. Evan Longoria is healthy and having an all-star season. You got to feel they feel pretty good about their chances to stay in this race and then make a run later on.
Another broken bat, ground ball to second, bobbled. There's one, and that's all they get. Canoa's lost some lumber tonight.
Back to your point, Coney, and Joe Madden is very good at realizing how long this season is, and has proved that if you do stay close, they've had some runs come all the way down to the end of the season. So it's not like, you're telling guys, hey, we'll come back at the end. They've done it before, so they believe they can do it. You stay in this race, you get your pitching healthy, and you come into September in the big games ready to win some games that'll just get you over that hump back into the playoffs.
Right down to the last day of the season, right, with that famous Longoria home run.
Grounded foul. Speaking of young players, there's another O'Neill in the Yankee organization. Her nephew, Michael.
Yeah,
and he's assigned to Staten Island, right?
Uh-huh.
I think he got 2 hits his first game.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that.
Is he anything like you?
He got the same last name. No,
that's your brother's son, right?
Yeah, he's my older brother's son, and he's just been an unbelievable. Grew up a lot like we did, playing baseball every single day of his life since he's been 5 and dreaming about playing in the major leagues. So he's getting a chance, an opportunity, just like Coney and I did, and it's just, you can't say that it's just what you want to do. It's just almost like what you're born to do.
Give us a scouting report. Speed, power, what's he got?
Fast. He's a very good outfielder, good wheels, steals a lot of bases. He's going to have to learn to pulls the ball with power. He's going to have to learn to, right? Right-handed hitter, center fielder, right fielder, either one. And he's going to have a good opportunity to go out and prove that he can play at this level. What a neat place to go, Staten Island. They've done a great job over there with the ballpark.
Yeah, it was interesting. They opened up with the Brooklyn Cyclones, and L.J. Mazzilli, Lee's boy, matched up with your nephew.
Both of them had 2 hits. 0-2. Low as Cano takes second.
But that was one of the great stories, I think, of the draft. You know, is Lee Mazzilli grew up not far from Coney Island in that ballpark where the Cyclones play. A Brooklyn boy. His son gets drafted and ends up getting sent there to play in Brooklyn. Pretty neat. Pretty full circle. And I saw Lee Mazzilli the other night. Boy, he just beaming with pride.
Absolutely. I mean, his son was drafted last year and passed, went back to UConn, and knew that, you know, if all went well, that he was going to get that opportunity. Another kid that LJ played some Little League baseball with my oldest, so you know, he's been doing it for a long time and had that dream and get to live it out now.
Runner at second, 1-2 count, 2 outs. Chop to the shortstop. Yep, that's the shortstop as he flips it underhand to get Hafner. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Let's go to the 9th. 8-3 Rays. Don't miss a new Forbes Sports Money for a look at the financial impact that the new soccer team NYCFC will have on the city. Plus an exclusive interview with Kansas City Chiefs CEO Clark Hunt. It is a new Forbes Sports Money tonight after the postgame right here on Yes. Preston Claiborne comes on for the Yankees to pitch tonight. By the way, that final play on Hafner was scored a 5-3. That was Longoria who moved over there. They kept the shortstop at home. Claiborne pitched in the game. What game was that? It was one of the two, David.
Second game.
He gave up
a big home run
to Puig.
To Puig.
Yeah.
No, actually that was Adam Warren to Puig. He gave up one to Hanley Ramirez to left field, that line drive that about knocked down the left field wall.
That was game 1 then. Yeah.
Oh, it was game 1, my bad.
I hate to leave you out to dry, Mike, but I can't help it.
No, you aren't here.
I didn't have the box score with me. I didn't take notes.
Hanley Ramirez had a day yesterday.
Wow.
I mean, everything he hit was on the screws. And, of course, Yasiel Puig, Paulie. Wow.
Can do a lot of things.
Just
saying, yeah.
Like a bolt of lightning came into Yankee Stadium.
3-2 to Rodriguez. Grounded to Brignac. 1 out. Tigers just beat the Red Sox. A walk-off home run by Johnny Peralta. Tigers win 4-3.
Tigers making it look easy in that division this year. Tell you what, is there a better hitter in the game than Cabrera? The more you watch him,
it's just so consistent too. Every year he brings it.
Yep,
brings it every year. He's in the MVP voting 5-6 years in a row now.
Zobrist lines one to center. Coming on is Gardner. He can't make the play. A base hit for Zobrist, the second of the night.
Tell you what, he's had good at bats tonight against Pettit, and now against the right-hander, and he drives this ball to center field. Gardner goes for it, gets a great jump. Just can't get under it. A little short hop.
Get a little worried when you see that glove turnover right there on the wrist.
I did it twice in my career, and that thumb, just something's got to give, and it's usually a thumb because it's locked in that glove, and it can't bend, and it just breaks.
Here's Longoria with 2 home runs in his last 2 times up. 2 for 3 with a sac fly.
A lot of people watch the game, and why at 8-3 would you go dive for a ball and jeopardize getting hurt and this and that? But when you're on the field, it's a reaction. The ball's hit, you react to it, and you don't think of the scoreboard and where the game is.
Here's Evan Longoria's night. That was in the 6th inning against Pettit. Then against Jabba. So back-to-back home runs, both solo shots. He now has 16 on the season.
And you called it, Paulie. He's thinking right field the whole time. It's a nice approach if you think about it. In this ballpark, you've got the power that Longoria does. You know what? I'm going to stay inside the fastball. I'm going to hit the fastball the other way. If I get my bat sped up with an off-speed pitch, then I'll go ahead and turn on that one.
See, both those pitches that he hit out came back over the plate, and he was able to get his hands far enough out to drive the ball. But the scouting report on Longoria is he's looking to pull a lot of times, looking inside, and so you're kind of almost afraid to go in there. So when he comes out on a night like this in Yankee Stadium with approach the other way, pitchers are going to pitch him not in. He can hurt you in. Well, he can hurt you out over the plate too. You see, total different swing right there. That ball right there is his swing at home, where he's trying to pull the ball. Didn't stay inside, kind of opened up and was going to drive that ball out to left field. See, everything going this way now, not towards right field. Coming around the ball and trying to pull that ball.
Fouled that one off. And he walked him. That is one thing that Preston Claiborne usually does not do, has unerring control.
Familiar face, Kyle Farnsworth, heating up in the bullpen. And that was just the second walk from Preston Claiborne so far this year in over 20 innings, 21 2/3 coming into this appearance.
Will Myers takes a strike. We mentioned earlier, no batting gloves, and he has never, ever worn batting gloves. Even as a kid, never in the minor leagues. Just feels more comfortable.
Just 22 years old.
I was just going to say, God, he looks young.
Baby face, right?
Still going to fill out, become stronger.
I told you earlier the Royals took a chance because they thought they were close. And they've been playing pretty good ball lately. They're 5 games behind Detroit coming into tonight, 34-36. High fly ball right field. Second out. The Rays know they have an abundance of pitching, so they sent James Shields and Wade Davis, as well as Elliott Johnson, to KC for a package that was centered around Will Myers. And Odorizzi is a very good pitcher as well, and so is Montgomery, so it's a pretty good deal. But in order for it to pay off for the Royals, those pitchers have to happen this year, and they've got to make the playoffs.
And to their credit, I mean, James Big Game Shields is having an outstanding year. He's just no run support. Yeah, well under 3 ERA, but I think in the last I checked, he was 2-6 with his record. So tough times for him in terms of record, but he is still one of the best in the game in terms of innings pitched and good numbers across the board.
And they've started to hit a little bit better since the guy that David's nickname is after, George Brett, became their hitting coach. A lot of people wondered why George Brett would get back in the uniform. He said, I'm just tired of seeing the losing.
A lot of Charlie Lau in that, but when he was a Charlie Lau guy, right?
He was a Charlie Lau guy, a real weight transfer guy.
One of the prettier swings you'll see. That was one guy when I came to the American League, I was excited to come watch him play in person. Had never seen him. Boy, he could hit.
The 1-2. Strike 3. Joyce down looking. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Yankees will try to come back against Farnsworth. Yes, is brought to you by Mitsubishi. Find your own lane in an all-new 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander. Visit MitsubishiCars.com/2014 Outlander. By Heineken, open your world, enjoy responsibly. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 CR-V. Crowd of 37,649 here at the ballpark tonight. A lot of them have left as the Yankees are down 8-3. And Kyle Farnsworth will come in and try to get the final 3 outs before Tampa Bay.
We counting that attendance, Michael?
What do you mean?
Well, we part of that number.
No.
Well, we got to buy a ticket?
Yes. Kyle Farnsworth, this will be his 26th game. Good command, only with 4 walks, but opponents hitting .309 against him. Strikeouts really down as well. And his ERA at 5.49.
Boy, when he broke in, Coney, remember him as just a power pitcher. Still throws hard, but he kind of likes to get that strikeout with that slider.
Vernon Wells is pinch hit for by Zoilo Almonte. First big league at bat yesterday. And he grounded to third. So looking for his first big league hit. That's what he did in 68 games at Scranton Wilkes-Barre, the Yankees AAA affiliate. Switch hitter. And he bats from the left side against the righty Farnsworth. The 0-1. Grounded off the bag. Longoria fields, and it's the first major league hit for Zoilo Almonte. And they're calling for the baseball. That'll be a great story for Almonte to tell.
You know, that used to be Gene Monahan's job. Is that Stevie Donahue now?
It is Stevie's job now.
Wow, the look in his eyes, huh?
Yeah.
Beaming. Long time coming.
Can't wait to get back to the room and call everybody at home.
Nothing like it. Well, my first major league win, was we're going to get another look here, and it's hit well. Good play coverage. Right down the line. Off the bag. Should have been a double.
Yeah.
Got my first big league win, Michael. I was playing against Paul O'Neill in Cincinnati. And
just buried us, didn't you?
Buried you early, and then you came off the bench and pinch hit and hit a homer to center of me. Broke up the shutout. But still got that first big league win. I'll never forget that feeling. Man, what a feeling.
Ground ball to second. There's one. Tough to double up Ichiro.
You didn't go to the waterfront that night, did you, Cody?
I beat the streets, I'll tell you that. There was no sleeping that night.
The waterfront was a restaurant out on the river in Cincinnati that a lot of the players used to hang out in.
You can't go back to your hotel room and stare at the ceiling.
No,
you know?
Too much energy.
A nice moment for Zoilo Almonte. His first major league hit.
And you wonder, with so many people in the Yankee lineup struggling, do you pencil in Almonte and give him a shot tomorrow?
Well, the fact that he's a switch hitter, you know, it gives him an advantage. Because the Yankees have been seeking balance, obviously, with Teixeira, the switch hitter, out. He had a good spring training, too, so he really earned his way. He earned his way up here.
Ichiro goes, he'll take second on defensive indifference.
It's the first one I've seen this weird, Michael. Defensive indifference.
You had one in the previous inning, weren't you watching? Cano had it.
There you go. Now you got to make me look bad, right?
You got a little broadcast booth indifference going on.
And there he goes again, so you get another DI.
All right, I saw two now. I just missed one. That's all right.
I have to make you look bad when you said 7.5 meters.
So you've been holding that in for 3 innings.
Oh,
huh?
I'm going to be holding it in for a while. Count 3-1.
Michael's not one to hold a grudge, huh?
Never, never.
I let go of things very easily.
He held the pen and paper early in his career. Now he's got the microphone.
3-1. Nub foul.
Let's put him on the spot, Paulie. Okay, Michael, you when you were a beat writer with the Post, and you needed to get an interview, and if a player blew you off, did that affect the article you wrote that night?
No, but it definitely affected how I thought of the player the rest of the year. The article had to be
the whole
written that
year,
night.
so I have a bad night.
No.
So you hated me the rest of the year.
Wait a second. Let me. It affected me forever, not just the rest of the year.
Wow.
You never blew me off.
Oh, just wasn't happy to talk to you, but I didn't blow you off.
You happen to be a great interview. You just gave everybody a hard time.
No. Coney was the team, the statesman. He would speak for everybody.
Chirp master.
Yeah.
See, but Coney was that rare player that would call the media over. You didn't have to like bug him.
Yeah, he called him over, and we all snuck out the back door. It was wonderful.
And there was a method to his madness.
Please interview me. Please talk to me.
Because everybody else was going to bed. Coney wasn't. He didn't care if he had interviews or not.
3-2. Missed outside as Overbay works a walk.
I still do it outside the stadium. I'm looking at the kids. Please ask for my autograph. Don't you want my autograph? I used to be somebody.
8-3, Tampa Bay over the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the ninth as Farnsworth trying to get the final 3 outs. And Fernando Rodney up just in case.
And I'll tell you one thing. If you look at one thing that could change this year, they've got to get him figured out. He was so good last year, and he struggled this year. In 5 or 6 games, I think he's had blown saves already. And, you know, you just cannot give that many games away in this division.
Well, that's not a good phone call you make in the bullpen there. You know, you got 5 runs, and you got to get your closer up here now.
We saw with the Yankees on Sunday against the Angels, they had a 6-0 lead, and it almost all went away. So it can be done.
Yeah, what a matchup, huh, with Mariano Rivera and Albert Pujols at the end of that game out in Anaheim. And this is about giving your closer time to warm up a little bit. Lobaton's going to go out, talk to Farnsworth. This is just killing time.
That was a strike, 2-1. This could be a double play. There's one. And there's the end of the ball game as Rodney does not have to come in. So a 6-4-3 double play, and that'll do it as Tampa Bay takes the first game of this 4-game set by an 8-3 score over the Yankees. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. Big home run for Yunel Escobar. Longoria with a couple of bombs as well. All in all, not a great night for the Yankees as they lose 8-3.